Yes, people. Yes, people. Yes, people. We are live. We are live for some late night vibes. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Smash the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Check this little funky thing, bro. Look at this. Look at this little funky thing. Fucking StreamYard. I've added stuff to the fucking StreamYard, which is pretty good considering I pay like 50 quid a month. Yeah, they've added loads of stuff. Look at this one. What's this one here? Welcome! Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. What else have they added? Breaking news! Oh, yo, as if you've added these things, man. Fucking hell, it's been a long time. Yo, what's this one here? Welcome! What is this stuff, man? Honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, anyway, actually be serious. Yeah, make sure you guys are actually smashing the likes. Make sure you guys are actually subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Guys, I fucking burnt my head. I burnt my head, lads, in the sun, man. I burnt my head in the sun, boys. I burnt my head. Oh, nah. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, man. I can't lie. I burnt my head. Obviously, I'm still learning about baldness and having no hair and that. Although there is like a little bit of hair. There is like a little bit. You can't really see it on camera, but there is like a little bit. I'm basically bald. And now I'm not trying to get burnt today. I got burnt at Oasis, and when I was at Oasis the other day, I was stood in the sun and it was just like, I got cooked. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning about bald protection and all that kind of shit. And yeah, I'm trying to work it out, man. I'm trying to work it out. But yeah, I got bald and it's itching my head like mad. It's itching my head like mad. But yeah, anyway, smash these likes up. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. We're going to be talking about Nico O'Reilly. Sorry, I didn't realise I still had the music on. I'm going to be speaking about Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly has suitors in the Premier League and elsewhere. We're going to be speaking about that. We're going to be speaking about how we got a little bit of a situation going on with the young players coming through because obviously McAtee's being sold. Nico O'Reilly, is he going to get game time? And the balance of success and winning trophies versus trying to get these players game time and bring players through the academy, because I hear different viewpoints, man. I hear some people who are just like, they're not really asked about the academy and they just want to win trophies, and that's a valid viewpoint. But then I hear a lot of other people say, we want players coming through the academy. We want to be playing these, and it's not cool that we're selling at Cole Palmer's. It's not cool that we're selling McAtee. It's not cool that we're selling Nico. So make sure you guys are getting your comments in the chat, and we'll get them up on screen, and we'll talk about it, and we'll go through some of this stuff. Before we do, I shout out Bonzi, man. I'm going to say Bonzi. I don't know if it's Bonsai. It could be Bonsai. I don't know. But big up Bonzi, man, for the 5 gifted. W Bonzi in the chat. Big up to you, bro. And I think I'm pretty sure you sent 5 last night as well, man. So I do appreciate it. Big up to you, man. Appreciate the support. And shout out to Emmanuel. Says, LB, why didn't you do a special Chelsea video? I was in a bad mood, bro. The day that you the day that you won, so I just fucked it off. But yeah, big up Bonzi, man, for the 5 bob. W's in the chat, man. W's in the chat. Right, if you guys haven't seen it, yeah, we got some news, and it come from Fabrizio Romano, who's, I don't really know in terms of how much. Let me just get this off the screen. It's doing my head in. Sorry, 1 second, chat. Let me get this like and subscribe thing off. There we go. I can't have that popping up every time. Although you need to make sure you're liking and subscribing to this video. Anyway, this is what Fabrizio Romano's been saying. Breaking news. Bundesliga and Premier League clubs are showing strong interest in Nico O'Reilly. Several clubs are prepared to offer regular first-team opportunities next season, a priority for the player. Now, this has obviously sparked some debate on social media about Nico O'Reilly, whether or not we should be getting rid of him. So let's just have a little bit of a recap. He's contracted until 2028. That's when he's contracted till. To be honest, and you know, most of you guys will know this. This isn't really a surprise to me. This isn't really a surprise to me. I've been saying for some time, if I was Nico O'Reilly, I'd leave. And if you actually read it, Nico O'Reilly wants game time. Yeah, he's a priority for the players to be playing first team football. One of the problems that we've got as a football club, yeah, and obviously we've not got many problems, to be honest. Like, well, we have a few problems, obviously, but we don't have many problems. But one of the problems that we've got is we've got these players coming through the academy, great players. Cole Palmer was one of them. McAtee, another one. Nico O'Reilly, and there's others that have been in that academy, you know, and there will be players in that academy now. But they need to play. They need to develop. And as a football team, we cannot offer them football on a regular basis. Now, when I'm talking regular basis, I'm talking about starting week in, week out. Nico O'Reilly could go and he could leave this summer and go to Germany, right? And he would play week in, week out for whatever club he signs for. Obviously, unless he goes Bayern Munich or something. Yeah, if he goes to like 16 of the teams in that league, he'd start week in, week out. Now, I hear what people are saying, but I think you're being a little bit, I think you've got your blue tinted glasses on. I think you're being a little bit City bias. The thing that I hear, what people always say to me is, oh, but the player should take the Foden route. Hang on a minute. Not every single player is going to take the Phil Foden route. Yes, it worked for Phil Foden staying at Manchester City, and we're all glad he did that and, you know, come through and, you know, cooking like he did. But not every player is going to want to sit on the bench and wait when they can just go to Germany, do 2 years there, playing week in, week out, potentially getting the England national team, and then get a big move to another Premier League team in a couple of years' time, just like Jadon Sancho did. There's nothing, you know, just because, and just like Cole Palmer's another one. Sancho did it. And people, this is what frustrates me. People go, well, Sancho's career went down the shitter. Sancho's career went down the shitter because he joined Manchester United Football Club, not because of anything that he did actually as a footballer. Yeah, his career was going fine. He made the correct career choice to leave Manchester City and go to Borussia Dortmund. His issue was that he then fucked it by going to Man United. And Nico O'Reilly, you've got to ask yourself the question and put yourself in his shoes, because that's what I did. I put myself in his shoes. We've just signed Ryan Aït-Nouri. So you're not going to be our starting left back. At the end of last season, he was pretty much our starting left back. Well, he was our starting left back. You're not going to be our starting left back anymore. That's not going to happen, right? So you're not going to, your game time massively reduced. Yeah. You've also got Nathan Ake, who can play left back. Now, in certain games, say Aït-Nouri gets injured or suspended, he might still choose to play Nico O'Reilly at left back over Nathan Ake. But if Nathan Ake is fit, Nathan Ake is a serious player to play at left back. So you might not even play at left back in certain games if Nathan Ake is fit. You will in some, you will in others, depending on the tactical setup that Pep Guardiola wants to go for. So your left back minutes have been absolutely decimated already. Okay, so midfield. Let's talk about midfield. Well, where's he going to play midfield? Where's he going to play midfield, chat? Yeah, because you've got Rodri, right? And I don't really think he's a natural sort of DM or a number 6. Yeah. And yeah, Tom, you are right. I know he's going to AFCON. It's a month. I don't really think that'll enter Nico O'Reilly's head. So then you look at midfield, right? You got Rodri coming back. I don't really see Nico O'Reilly as a 6. I don't think he gets around enough to be a 6 to be able to pick up the loose balls. So you're looking at that position next to Rodri, which I think is the perfect position for him. Well, you got Tijani Reinders, He's not getting in above Tijani Reinders. And let's be honest, Tijani Reinders is going to play a hell of a lot of minutes this year. And we still have Nico Gonzalez, who we believe, I'm pretty sure, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page, that Nico Gonzalez's best position is next to Rodri and playing in that position that Tijani Reinders will be in. And then obviously you've got the attacking position where your Cherky, your Foden's going to be playing. And then let's not even have the conversation about Rico Lewis, because Rico Lewis's best position is midfield as well. So I just think if I'm Nico O'Reilly, and I've said this for months, if I'm Nico O'Reilly, I'd leave. If I was him, because I just don't see where the minutes are coming from. And he has an opportunity to go somewhere and play regular first team football. He could probably go to a team that's in the Europa League. He might be able to get a move to somewhere like Frankfurt. I think they're in the Champions League, actually. But you know what I'm saying? He might be able to get a move to a team that's playing Champions League football or Europa League or Conference League. And if not, he could go to a mid-table team in the Bundesliga and play week in, week out. He could go there, sign a 4-year, 5-year contract. Yeah. And then if he does well, 2 years, he'll be back in the Premier League. Someone will buy him 80 million, bang, Premier League football. 3 years playing Premier League football. He's not guaranteed that at City, because I look at the minutes that he can get this year and I'm just like, where are your minutes coming from? And people will say, oh, we'll play Carabao Cup. Playing Carabao Cup's useless. It just doesn't do anything. McAtee played Carabao Cup and scored a hat-trick. Did he play? How many games did he get? Yeah, Grealish played in the fucking Carabao Cup. Pep's not asked about the Carabao Cup, mate. He's not been asked about the Carabao Cup for about 3 or 4 years. He don't give a shit about it no more. You know what I mean? He's got bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean? Like, you don't care about it. And if you have a good game in a Carabao Cup, it's not going to impact his decision. He's still going to play Ryan Aït-Nouri in the next Premier League game or the next Champions League game. So, you know, I don't know. I just think that it's in his best interest is to leave. It's not in Manchester City's best interest that he leaves, because I want him to stay. And let me just confirm that. I want him to stay. I don't want him to leave. But if I was Nico O'Reilly, I would leave and go play first team football, 100%. Now, if he does leave, and this club doesn't put a buyback clause in it, then we are just fucking stupid, mate. Because we need to learn from our mistakes. Now, I believe that we will learn from our mistakes and we will put a buyback clause in the contract. And if we have a buyback clause in the contract, got no problem with it. No problem. Well, I have a little bit of a problem, and we'll come on to that in terms of like the academy and how it's used. But so long as you've got a buyback clause in there, if he goes on and turns out to be the next Zidane, at least you can get the player back. It's just really frustrating that the one player that we didn't put a buyback clause in turned out to be the best player that we've sold from the academy, Cole Palmer. So we just got to learn from our mistakes. But I don't know. I just feel that, like, I don't know. I just don't see where he gets game time next year. I'm sorry, chat. I just don't see it. Big Osmodia says Nico O'Reilly, if he should leave, has to have a buyback clause. Facts. We don't need to sell. We'd be buying him back for more, 100%. Just loan him. You could loan him. You could loan him. That is an option. It depends on whether he's happy with that. And again, can we learn from that? Because Cole Palmer didn't want to be sold. Cole Palmer wanted to just go on loan, and we've... Don't get me... I can't start on Palmer. I really can't. But Cole Palmer just wanted to be loaned, bro. And we went, nah, see ya. See you later, mate. We could take the 40 million. Right? So, yeah, maybe that is an option. Loan him out. Loan him out, and then, you know, Bernardo Silva's leaving next year. Obviously, if Nico Gonzalez doesn't get game time, he could potentially leave next summer if he doesn't get game time this year. If Pep doesn't really like the guy, which obviously there are question marks over that at the moment. And then all of a sudden, in 12 months' time, there is an option that maybe Nico O'Reilly could get some game time. Then you're faced with another dilemma, which I don't really buy personally, but I know a lot of you guys always moan about it in the chat. I always see it on the chat where you guys say, well, if the player gets loaned, they're finished anyway. Now, I don't personally believe that. I just think we've not had many players that have gone on that. But I don't think that is a thing. I just think it's natural that if a player gets loaned, typically Pep just doesn't really rate them, or the club don't really rate them. In a situation like this, or a situation like Palmer, we should utilize the loan market, yeah, to say, right, you're a mint player. We don't want to sell you. We think you've got a serious future at this club, but right now we can't get you game time that you want. So rather than selling you or having you rot on the bench, we'll loan you, go and get some minutes, and then in a year's time we can reassess the situation. There's no need necessarily to rush to make a decision with Nico O'Reilly. Now, the problem will come for City is if a big bid comes in. If we end up getting a bid off a club for like 35, 40, 45 million, then that is going to test our resolve massively. Because even though we've got quite a strong position with him on the contract, according to Transfermarkt, it's 2028, that's 3 years. We don't have to rush to sell him. That is a lot of money. And we don't, you are right, Andrew, we don't need the money. But you know what, the business guys, and if the offer's on the table, 40 million, City might go, well, he's a good player and he might be mint, but we've got to take that offer. But again, it's about the buyback clause. It's got to be about that buyback clause. We've got to make sure we've got the buyback clause in there. Because if we put a buyback clause in there for 80 million and he goes on to be the next Zidane, don't care. You buy him back for 80 million, who cares? Yeah. But we got to be making sure that we get that buyback clause in there. But it's one of them, man, because I've seen, I think where the frustration will come from a lot of people is if we end up keeping Kovacic and Gundogan and who, are coming to the end of their careers and then selling a prospect like Nico O'Reilly. I think that's where a little bit of frustration will come in, you know what I mean? And I'd be frustrated at that as well, you know what I mean? But as for Nico O'Reilly, he's got to think about himself. He might love the club. He might want to make it here. He probably does. I seen a video of going around on Twitter today of Cole Palmer at a City away game in the Champions League. This was before he was like in the first team. Partying and singing City songs with the City fans. It fucking frustrated me. But again, he's got to think about his career. He's got we come at it. Yeah, we come at it from a fan's perspective. Like, oh, Nico O'Reilly shouldn't leave. Like, fucking hell, he should stay and fight for his position like Foden did. I think that's a bit selfish. I think it's a selfish view. And you're entitled to have the view, but I'm telling you, I think that's a selfish view that people have. These footballers, have got very short careers. Very, very, very short careers, Of like, well, what is he now? He's 20 or something? 19? What is he? He's 20. He's got 13 years left at top level, max. 13 years. His career's not even started. His career's not even started, and it's over in 13 years. And people want him to fight for the next 2-3 years. Not happening. It's not happening, mate. I think it's a selfish viewpoint and a viewpoint of a fan. And I'm a fan, and I don't want him to leave. So I've got a selfish viewpoint. But I'm telling you, I'm separating my viewpoint, which is I hope he stays and fights for his position. Of course I do. But then I'm going over here, I'm putting myself in his shoes and going, I ain't fighting for my position. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Yet you want Nunes to stay, LB. You won't be a starter. I want to sign a new right back. I want to sign a new right back. If Nunes wants to leave, he can leave. I want to sign a new right back, bro. Not sure where you got that on. There's a limit on loans you can do. Yeah, I think it might be 6 loans or something. I think it's 6 loans you can do. So we have to look into that and see if we've got even enough. But that, you get around that by doing a sell on with a buyback. You sell a player and get the buyback on. That's how you do that, don't you? You sell the player, put a buyback on, and there you go. There you go. Times have changed. LB career start at youngest 18. Yeah, they do, DJ, but he's 20. That's the point I'm making. Careers do start younger, but he's 20. LB, stop selling the dream. He should leave. He should leave Angle. He may be rewatching. I know he might be watching, but bro, he if he is watching, he probably knows, isn't it? The guy probably knows. He knows what he's thinking. It is what it is. Yo, pie time, bro. He said, bro. Hey, what's happening? I don't mind him going as long as it's a direct rival. I can't see City selling him to someone like a Chelsea. Unless a big bid comes in, Sean. Like 50 mil. I think City will be like, go Germany, bro. Like, if he's like, I want to leave, and they're not prepared to loan him, or we can't loan him because we've used up all our spots or whatever, I think they'd rather just send it to Bundesliga. Send it to Bundesliga, 30 million, put a buyback in there, 50 million. 60 million, something like that. Do you know what I mean? That's what you got to do for me. Seems like only 5 minutes ago. Yeah, well, remember, Chelsea put that bid in January, didn't they? So, Chelsea Football Club have tried to sign this guy already in January. So, you're looking at a club like Chelsea, they'll probably be in for him again. If not, there'll be another club. Like the big clubs want this guy. He's a good player. He's a good player, and he's only 20 years old. Let's be honest as well here, chat, yeah? Let's be honest. Not single-handedly, but he had a large part to play in our mini revival last season, didn't he, when he come into the side in January, February, whatever it was. Like, without him, do we get top four? Honest question. Do we get top four without Nico O'Reilly? Now, I'm not saying it's just him, because obviously Nunes had a bit to play about it as well. Nunes was massive. Now, without Nunes, you could say the same. But the point is, he had a massive part to play in the reason why we got Champions League football. Teams are seeing it. Teams are seeing it. They're knocking on his door, mate, and going, you're not going to play for City next year that much. Come to us in I don't know. Let me pull up the Bundesliga table from last year, yeah? Bundesliga table. Here you go. Look at this. Bro, look at all these teams. Any of these teams. Leipzig, Stuttgart, Mönchengladbach. Massive clubs, by the way. Massive. I've been to some of these grounds, bro. Massive teams, massive clubs. Yeah. He could go to some of these teams and start week in, week out. Yeah. And then I can't remember who got promoted. Like, I think Hamburg got promoted. Massive club. Yeah, they're massive clubs in Germany that he could go walk straight into and play week in, week out. Potentially getting himself into the England setup. Yeah, if not, he gets a move back to the Premier League in 2 years. He skipped the whole graft thing. He's actually playing football. He could go on to Frankfurt with McAtee. Exactly. Well, the thing is as well, Peter, yeah, you're spot on with Frankfurt because Frankfurt's whole business model is to make money. It says it on their own website. It says it on the website. We literally read it on their website when we were signing Mamouche. Yeah? Why does that fucking mustache look so weird, man? I need this trimmed bad. But yeah, their whole thing on their website is about making money. So they could go and sign him. They'd sign him for 30, 35 million and then bang, they'd sell him in a couple of years for 60, 75. That's how they do it. That's literally the way they roll. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I don't know if he's going to stay or not, but if I was him, I'd probably leave. And if I was City, I'd probably be saying to him, listen, well, can we afford for him to leave if Gundogan and Kovacic leave? The problem is as well, you've got Rico as well. You've got Rico Lewis in as well, man. Bro, I just don't see where the minutes are coming from these guys. I just don't see the minute. I don't see where the minutes are coming from, man. I really don't, innit? Could mean we're signing someone else. Yeah, maybe. I did see someone on Twitter today saying they've heard that City and Gibbs White is not over, but I think it is. City's position hasn't changed on Nico O'Reilly. Contract for 5-year extension was agreed. And if City agreed a move, it would likely be a loan move. He's seen as part of City's future, however. Oh, however, agent. What, is there a second part to this? Is there a second part to this message? No. Yeah, well, the thing is as well, yeah, is when was that contract agreed? When was he agreed that? Because, yeah, I've read tonight, similar to Palmer, he wants a loan, but City said if he leaves, it'll be put. But why, Benno? Why is City saying it has to be a permanent move? Now, obviously, if it has a buyback, I'm not really that asked because, it's basically a glorified loan, isn't it? You know what I mean? But why is City saying this? I don't know where you've seen it. I've not seen that. But if this is true, why is City saying you've got to leave? See, here's the problem with that then, Craig, right? Because he might have agreed to sign a new contract, yeah, in March, but now he's seen these players signing. Because that's what happened with Palmer. That's what happened with Palmer. Palmer was going to stay, right? Mahrez left. He thinking, mint, I've got that right wings position. Or I'm going to get a lot of games. I might rotate with Bernardo, but I'm going to get a lot of games. Then what happened is City signed Doku, who, remember, at Rennes was a right winger. And Palmer went, fuck this. I ain't being back up again. I want to go. He wanted a loan. City forced him out the door. maybe it's a similar situation where Riley was like, you know what, I'll stay. And then he's seen us sign Aït-Nouri and go, hang on a minute. Then he's seen us sign Tijani Reinders. We've still got Nico Gonzalez and Rodri's come back and gone, hang on a minute. I'm now not going to get any minutes. I want to leave. Hopefully, it's a loan deal. But if we do sell him, it needs to be with a buyback clause in it. 100%, man. 100%. Won't we have homegrown issues if he leaves? I need to fucking get the spreadsheet out. Palmer actually started that season mint as well. Foot say, yeah, facts. Probably because the club can show an injury. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, facts. I mean, that's a positive of a sale. But you've just got to make sure you put the buyback clause in there. I'm not asked if they're selling for 40 million and buying back for 80. I don't. Oh, big up, Tom. Big up. I'm not asked. I don't care if they're selling for 40 and buying back for 80. I don't really care. Yeah. I'll care if they sell him and don't put a buyback and he goes on to be the next Zidane. Because then I'll be like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Wait, sorry. Yeah, I know, man. I know. City's position on Gundogan is the same. He will be allowed to move if a club comes in. However, City are not actively pushing him out as he's triggered the club. Well, this is the thing as well. I don't know if you've seen in fact, let me do the super chats and we'll come on to Gundogan and Kovacic in a minute because Gundogan's agent was speaking today, which was quite interesting. Make sure you guys are smashing up the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well. If you're new, if you've not done so already, make sure you are subscribed, man. Shout out Matty. Says, can anyone name me the last academy player who played 10 games in a row? It was probably Foden. He still doesn't play in his best position most of the time. Maybe Rico. No, not Rico. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, no, I don't know, man. I think O'Reilly probably did play 10 games in a row last year, no? Because we had no players. Probably was Nico O'Reilly last year, bro. I'd be surprised if he didn't play 10 in a row. Unless he got dropped for like a cup game or whatever. Because we had no players, so he must have played. It must have been Nico O'Reilly, bro. Big Sign says we have some great talents and the one we keep is Rico. Ah, bro, digging at Rico Lewis. He's a Rico hater, bro. And big up Christo as well with 19 months. Appreciate it, bro. Says big up LB. We need to trust the youth more. Nico almost player of the season last year. Been the youngs through the youth. Pep got trust problems. Well, yeah, we'll come on to Gundogan in a minute, right? But this is where I think it's quite interesting to hear people's opinions, and I've seen quite a lot on Twitter in terms of the because there are people out there, yeah, and there'll be quite a lot of people in this chat as well, right? That they don't really care about the academy, and they're very much focused on I want to win trophies, I want to win games, and I don't really care who it is that we play. If it's an academy player, I don't care. If it's a signing week, I don't care. For me, I do want to see academy players play for Manchester City Football Club. However, I only want to see good ones. I don't want to see them just because they're an academy player or they're a local. I'm fucking local. Do I get a play? Do I get a play on 100 grand a week? Do I get a play on 150 grand a week? No, because I'm shit at football, mate. Yeah, that's why I'm not playing for City, bro. Yeah. So I do want to see academy players play. And I do think it is good to have players playing in your team who are from the local area and they've grown up in Manchester or whatever because they get it more, obviously. Right? However, I don't just want you playing for my club just because you're from Manchester. You know what I mean? Like what? Or you're from the local area or you grew up supporting City. Like, bro, even if you grew up in America and you're a City fan. And what? And what, bro? Like, so there's got to be like a balance. The problem is we've had players that probably should have had a chance and they've not been given that chance. So if you look at a player like, and by the way, I'll say a couple of names here, yeah? And I'm not saying that these players would have smashed it or whatever. I'm just saying that I think there were opportunities to play these players and we didn't take them. Liam Delap was a player that we could have played more opportunities when he come in I think it was the year before the treble year. So it was 2021, 2022, if my memory serves me correct. We had a major striker problem. I think, yeah, this is the year before we signed Haaland. So it was 21, 22. We had a major striker problem. He never got a game. He then played against Bournemouth, scored a sick goal. Never seen him again. So there are opportunities to play him, didn't play him. And again, it's worked out. So I'm not saying it was a mistake because it worked. We went on and won 4 Premier Leagues. The point I'm making is I feel like there's sometimes Palmer's another one. We should have played him. I mean, to be honest, he did have a chances and he was mint. I don't really understand that one, but we won't get into that one. McAtee, if you remember earlier this season, there was opportunities to play McAtee and we didn't play him. I'm not saying that we've made mistakes because look at the success we've had. We've had mad success. We won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. So I'm not saying not giving Delap a chance was a mistake. What I'm saying is the club could potentially have saved themselves a purchase of another player. And we could have had a mint player there. And that's not going to work out every time. Sometimes you're going to play a player and they'll turn out to be crap. But we've built this academy, one of the best academies in the world, not even just in football, one of the best sporting academies in the world. And we've created these beastie players. And I don't feel like sometimes we've played them enough or give them the opportunities. And like I say, it's not really, that's not really a footballing issue because we've been mad successful. So I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that they could potentially save themselves a load of money. Like, bro, you're not telling me that you couldn't have found a left back or a right back or other positions in the academy or midfielder or whatever. Like, you probably could have. You could probably save you some money. So yeah, that's it, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, smash these likes up as well, man. Smash these likes up as well. McAtee was trash, buddy. Well, the thing is, I think he probably should have got given a few more chances. But again, just to clarify, I'm not saying all these players would have been mint for City. If you think that's what I'm saying, it's not. The point I'm saying is there've been opportunities to give them a chance that we probably didn't take it. And if we did, you might have had one or two extra players, and that would have saved the club load of money. And you've got more academy players in there, you know. But at the same time, you can't really moan too much because we've had success. But some people are. Some people are saying they want to see more academy players in the team. Well, you can do that, but you might have to accept a slightly lower trophy rate. And then, you know, where's the balance? Where's the balance? See, I think we've got the balance on academy players pretty. I think we've done quite well on the balance. Where I think we've gone wrong is obviously the Palmer sale, which we won't speak about, even though I've mentioned it about 500 times because we've done it to death. And I do think that Pep Guardiola should have played some of these younger players earlier this season. And to be fair, Pep's come out and said I should have played him earlier in the season. I think he should have played McAtee when both Foden and De Bruyne were both injured. McAtee should have been starting week in, week out, and he would have had a month, McAtee, of game after game after game after game. He didn't, and then when he brought him back in, it was very sporadic. Yeah, Nico O'Reilly should have come in earlier. Didn't. I think so. We made a mistake there. But to be fair, Pep's come out and said he should have done that. You know. Yes, LB will have more of a chance of winning trophies with the Unks. Oh, we will. Well, you might do, you might not do. I mean, I don't think we will, but it's what it is. Pep clearly didn't learn then because what was that Al Hilal midfield? Well, again, this is a question that people are asking. People are saying to me, LB, Pep's just going to keep playing Gundogan and Kovacic in midfield and not going to play Nico O'Reilly. Well, I don't know if that is true. But this is why, for me, Viana has to take it out of Pep's hands and move Gundogan on and move Kovacic on. And just say, Pep, you don't need these players anymore. We've got Rico and we've got Nico. We've got Rico Lewis who can play midfield. Yeah, and you got Nico O'Reilly who can play midfield. If Pep says to Viana, I don't think them two are good enough to play in my midfield, Viana should say, okay, I'm selling them. And I'm selling Gundogan and Kovacic as well, because them two are not good enough to play week in and week out in our midfield. I mean, Kovacic was never good enough to start week in, week out. I was happy when we bought Kovacic because I thought it was going to be a squad rotator. The poor guy was starting every game. And to be fair, he's done a decent job, Kovacic. I ain't slagging him off. I think he's done quite a good job. But he wasn't supposed to play week in, week out. Who was supposed to play week in, week out? Bellingham. But he rejected us. He pied us. He pied us. He pied us, mate. So we ended up playing Kovacic week in, week out. And like I say, to be fair, he'd done a good job. And I think value for money, as Andrew says there, 25 million quid. Fucking can't really complain. But if we're being honest, is he good enough to play week in, week out for us when we try to win Premier League and Champions League? When you look at fucking Barcelona's midfield, you look at Liverpool's midfield, you look at even Arsenal's midfield, he's not, is he? Now, I'm happy to keep him around the squad, but if you do that and Pep's going to play him above Nico O'Reilly, Nico's not going to get any minutes. So you can't have it both ways, man. You got to make a decision and stick with it. You've got to make a decision and stick with it. And for me, it's like, and to be honest with you, like we're speaking about Nico O'Reilly, but we could have the exact same conversation about Rico Lewis. Exact same. Oh yeah, message me in a bit, Martin. I don't know how long I'm going to be live for. To be fair, we're doing good at the moment. We're in a nice flow of just chatting shit, so I might still be live. You know what I mean? So it's weird, man. It's a bit of a weird one. Nico will get minutes as a backup left back. But it's no guarantee he will, because he might play Ake there, who was fucking mint in the treble year at left back. If Ake's fit, there'll be, as I said before, there'll be games where he might want to go Ake, there'll be games where he go Nico O'Reilly. But I ask you the question again, B. If you're Nico O'Reilly, right, let's get that Bundesliga table up again. Let's just pick a team. Let's say Werder Bremen, yeah? Let's say Werder Bremen ring up Nico O'Reilly's agent and say, all right, it's Werder Bremen here. And they go, all right, what are you saying? Say, Nico O'Reilly, we'll sign him and we'll start him every single game and we'll put a release clause in his contract for 70 million quid to any English club. So in 2 years' time, if he slams it, there's no negotiations, there's 70 million. He can be playing Premier League football like that for a top team. Arsenal, Liverpool, United, City, whatever. That's one option. So an option for Nico O'Reilly is to go to Werder Bremen and play week in, week out Bundesliga. Option B is to sit on City's bench and wait for pity minutes to play left back. When Aït-Nouri gets subbed off in random games, which is unlikely to happen too much. Play Carabao Cup, which will be one game because we always lose the first game in Carabao Cup now. Or the odd, Champions League match when he decides to. I just be surprised. Listen, he might do, and I hope he does. I hope he does. I hope he stays. I just don't think he will. I don't think he will, man. Girona is right there. Well, obviously, yeah, it has been overturned, that UEFA decision, hasn't it? So we can loan players there. Yeah, Gavardio could play left. That's a great point. Again, big up Peter. I don't know if you're new to the channel. I don't recognize your name, but that's another good point. People saying, "Oh, well, he'll play second fiddle to Aït-Nouri." How do you know that? How do you know that? He might, if Aït-Nouri gets injured, he might put Gavardio back to left back and play Akanji and Diaz or Ake and Diaz. Again, there's no guarantees. And like I say, football's a short career. And if this guy has the opportunity to go and play first team football week in, week out for a player like Werder Bremen, mate, I'd just be surprised. And then the Premier League, that thing, yeah. That tweet from Fabrizio Romano was saying that the Premier League teams, where was it? Premier League clubs are showing strong interest. So again, if a Premier League club's knocking on the door, especially if it's one that's in European competition, and saying, Nico, come to us, we'll play week in, week out. Yeah, it could be Chelsea again. We know Chelsea bid for him in January. Remember, it was a substantial offer, not my words. The report said Chelsea offered Manchester City a substantial offer. And it's like, you know what I mean? So I think the guy's going to leave. I don't think he really wants to leave. Yeah, I think he probably wants to stay. But, it's one of them, isn't it? He's got to think about his career. And I get it. He's got to think. I think he's got to think about his career. He's got to think about his career. Yeah, I can't be sitting here saying, oh, he's a fucking idiot if he leaves. He's got to think about his career, man. Also, yeah, this is another good point. Some mint points being made in the chat today. He might not even want to play left back. People are like, oh, he'll accept being a backup left back to Aït-Nouri. Hang on a minute. He's not a left back. He's a midfielder. How do you know? He might hate playing left back, bro. He might want to play midfield, man. You know what I mean? Great point. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of it. He might not even want to play left back. Pep might say to him, I guarantee you I'll play you 25 games left back next year. He might be going, I don't want to play left back, bro. I don't want to do that. I want to play midfield. I'm a midfielder. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. Mad. The thing is, right, if Gundogan leaves and Kovacic leaves, I think there is a world in which he might stay because you can see that there could be minutes available for him there. Now, I still think it's tough, and I still think he'd be tempted by a move elsewhere because he's got Rodri in front of him. He's not really fighting for that position, but he's got Rodri in front of him, Reinders, and Nico Gonzalez. So if we ignore Rodri, because we're not saying that position, but there are games where you could not play Rodri and play two. That there are minutes for him available in the middle. They're still extremely limited, in my opinion. And let's be honest, lads, how many times have we actually seen Nico O'Reilly in midfield? We don't even know if he is a good midfielder. So we could be saying, oh, yeah, stay in midfield. We'll give you some... We could play him in midfield. He might not even be a good midfielder. We're not seeing him play midfield that much for City. In fact, I remember a lot of people slagging him off last year in pre-season when I think we played United in the Community Shield and I think he played in midfield then. I remember people were saying he was crap. Spurs away, I'm pretty sure people were saying he wasn't particularly good that day as well. So what happens then? He stays, he plays in midfield for a game. He ain't that particularly great. He's cooked. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll have to see what happens with it. I think he'll leave. I think he'll leave. I think what'll happen is he'll probably say to City something like Cole Palmer said, in that he needs to be playing minutes. He doesn't see the minutes at City. He really wants to stay, but he doesn't see the minutes. Loan me. And City will probably go, we're not going to loan you. We can get 40 million quid for you. And that's a 40 million pound PSR profit. I hope and pray that City will then go, we'll loan you, but there's got to be a buyback clause in there. And if they do, I'll be a little bit gutted that he's left. But at the same time, we're getting 40 million. We'll have a buyback clause. If it does turn out to be mint, cool. I'll be frustrated if we end up keeping Kovacic or Gundogan and they're playing regular football. Then I'll be frustrated because it's like, why are you playing Gundogan who's 35 years old, who he's done now, you know what I mean? Or Kovacic who can't offer what Nico can offer when you've got that player. Then I'll be frustrated. But, you know, on the basis that doesn't actually happen, I won't be too frustrated about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, so long as there's a buyback clause in there. Otherwise, like, what are we even doing, mate? To be honest, what are we even doing? Let me have a look at some of these chats, man. I smashed these likes up as well, guys. If you've not done so already, man, smash the likes. Big up to Rustin O'Neill, bro. Come on, bro. Your boy's gone to Atletico Madrid now, hasn't he? I shout. Says Pep wants the youth to have the slow phase into the team, but by 22 they're gone. Teams don't have the funds to buy, create the best path for youth products to thrive with minutes before they're forced to. Well, yeah, exactly. But the problem is, as someone did rightly say in the chat before, careers are starting much younger now. Players' prices have gone so high. Like 10, 15 years ago, right? You could buy a mint player in every position for 25 million. Every position. I mean, Lescott for 20 million. Aguero was 30 million. Company was 7 million. Zabba was 7 million. Clichy was 7 million. Hart was 3. De Jong was 16 million. Barry was, how much was Barry? 20 million, something like that. Milner was like 20 odd million. Nasri was 28 million, 30 million. Yeah. So you could buy all these mint players for 20 million, 30 million. You could buy a world-class team for 300 million. Arsenal's just spent 150 million on Declan Rice and Zubimendi. So I think what's happened is fundamentally footballers change, squad building in football has changed in that it's not really realistic, unless you're Chelsea Football Club, to go and spend 1 billion or 2 billion in the course of 4 years, yeah, or 3 years. Yeah, you might be able to do 600 million or 700, but you can't build like world-class players everywhere. So what teams are doing now, teams are putting in younger players earlier. And I feel like obviously Pep might want them to, you know, take the time and that, but the players don't need to take the time. Why don't they need to take the time? Because we've created unbelievable players because the academy is so good. So it's one of a double-edged sword. You create the academy. We spend 300 million quid on the academy, the best facilities in the world, the best coaches in the world. We recruit the best players. We get the players in. You know, they're there for 10, 15 years. Yeah. By the time they're fucking 17, 18, they're like, I don't need to be playing fucking academy football anymore. Macassar will be another one. He'll leave. You think Macassar will be playing for City next year or the year after? No chance. He'll leave. Why? Because he doesn't need to be playing EDS under 22 football. It's shit. Everyone who's watched that, it's crap league, man. It's a dead league that's not that competitive. Yeah. So these players that get there, they're playing academy football. They're going, why am I playing academy football? I'm fucking mega. And then teams like Dortmund, look at Dortmund, have just done it again with Joe Bellingham. They've just done it with Joe Bellingham. Now, I know Joe was different because he was playing first team football. He would have been playing Premier League. But the fact is, Joe Bellingham could have been playing for Sunderland next year, yeah, in the Premier League and achieving what? Nothing. What's he done? He's gone Dortmund playing whatever. Is he playing Champions League? Yeah, he'll be playing Champions League football. Of course he's going to leave. And obviously, there's so many clubs out there that don't actually give a shit about winning anymore. All they're interested is in fucking pound note. Yeah, Frankfurt. They literally had it in the website. Our business model as a football club is to buy players and sell them on. So you're not interested in winning. So they're literally like you. And to be fair, like what can City really do about that? Other than play the players, but then you're taking a risk because you should be playing world-class players and you're taking a risk on academy players. So City are going, okay, well, we'll just sell the player for 30, 40 million. We should be putting buybacks in every single one of them. And if they turn out to be mint, we'll buy them back. And you'll get one player every couple of years, like a Foden, like a Palmer, should have been a Palmer, Bob, who will break the mold, who will actually just come straight into the first team. You know, it's one of them, man. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I am gutted in that, but at the same time, you can't moan too much when you're winning Prem after Prem after Prem after Prem. You know, you can moan. You can obviously moan, but there's a limit to the moaning. There's a limit to the moaning because when you're winning, it's a little bit like, oh, what's going on? Nah, Benny, I'm saying he would have kicked the mold though, innit? Bob last year would have broken to the first team. We all agree with that. He was the best player in pre-season. He's getting minutes the year before. He would have started the season as our right winger last year. Then he broke his leg. 100% Bob would have broke the mold. In a couple of years, there'll be another player. Maybe it'll be Macassar. Maybe it'll be McAdoo. Maybe it'll be Mifune. I don't know. The point is, most of the players will be sold up from the academy. What they should be doing with that money is buying mint players. And I think this is where, again, you know, maybe sort of like moving on a little bit. I'm not sure. But again, this is probably why people are getting frustrated because all that money that they've made, and remember, they made the second highest amount of money in player sales out of any club in world football other than Benfica. What they should be doing in that situation then, if you're not going to be playing the academy players, is go buy, that's it, Denton, spot on, world-class players. And unfortunately, over the last couple of years, they've not bought world-class players. They bought average players. And again, that's probably why people get frustrated because people are like, well, hang on a minute. If you buy in the fucking Gavadios and you buy, I'll big up Briggsy, I'll bring that up in a sec, bro. If you buy in the Gavadios and the Haalands, everyone's like, oh, a bit gutted that you're selling the academy player. But new shiny toy, Haaland, Gavadio, buzzing. Yeah, and with all due respect, I'm not saying this to fucking, like, you know, beat him with a stick. When you're buying the Kovacic's, fucking Gundowans, the Nunez's, yeah, people get a bit like, well, hang on a minute. What's going on here? You're selling the best youth players and then you're buying me average players. If you're buying me Bruno Guimaraes for 100 million, ain't no one fucking moaning about selling Nico O'Reilly, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. If we get, yeah, and again, if we start buying mint again, and I think the signs are positive on that, we bought Marmouche, fantastic. By the way, I've got to say, that Marmouche signing, I think it's an absolutely fucking unbelievable signing, boys. Yeah, because apparently they want to sell Ekitike for 70 million. And we bought Marmouche for what, 60 mil in January? My hat goes off to Tiki on that one. I think it's a fucking unbelievable signing. And then you look at the signings that we made this summer, and I like the signings we've made this summer. I think Reinders, great player. Aït-Nouri, great player. Cherki, great player. We need a couple more. And I think if we get a couple more in that mould, good players, yeah, I think people will be calm again on the selling the academy players, you know. And have a look at some of these chats. Smash these likes up, guys. And keep your comments coming in, man. It is interesting. It is interesting. I've been reading. I've not really been tweeting a lot, man. I think Twitter's gone a fucking shit, boys. Yeah, and our fan base on that app. Fuck me. Jesus. Honestly, it's pathetic, mate. It's pathetic, bro. Honestly, I just can't fucking. Some of the shit that I'm reading, man, is like unbelievable, bro. I can't lie. Anyway, let me have a look through these. Let me have a look at some of these chats, man. Yo, shout out to my bro Spartacus, man. We saying, bro. So the big issue is that academy kids don't want to be squad players when they could start for the Prem side. In fact, exactly, spot on, bro. Nothing to say. Big up Alan says, okay, LB, tell the truth. If Pep told you straight to your face, Gundogan Kovacic are starting, would you want him out of the club? He played youth at Barca, no excuse. I'll tell you what I'd want. I'd want Viana to sell them both. And if Viana doesn't sell them, it's on Viana. Viana needs to sell them. Yeah? Sell them, bro. Take it out of Pep's hands. Simple. But listen, if Pep keeps on playing Gundogan and Kovacic over Tijani, Reinders, Nico Gonzalez, then you won't need me to say anything, because I'm telling you now, the City fan, even the ones, mate, that are more sort of happy in that will be saying, what the fuck is he doing playing Gundogan and Kovacic if you've got Nico Gonzalez and Reinders and that all sat there? Trust me. You know, people are not like just fucking mugs. Like, you get some City fans who, you know, don't want to criticise Pep at all or whatever, but they're also got a fucking brain. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like Briggsy, I hope you don't mind me using you as an example. Briggsy in the chat, moderator, right? Briggs is very much pro, like, he ain't going to cook Pep Guardiola. Yeah, he's a very much Pep backer and that. I know for a fact this guy was saying, Pep, what the fuck are you doing when he dropped Rodri in the Champions League final against Chelsea? People are not just like, oh, Pep. Like, yeah, they are, but at the same time, people have a fucking brain. If Pep Guardiola's playing Gundogan and Kovacic week in, week out next year, when he's got Reinders there and got Gonzalez there, people will be like, oh, what the fuck's going on? But I don't think that is going to happen, and I've maintained that all summer. If it does, then fuck me. We're cooked. We won't be winning anything next year if that happens, but I don't think it's going to happen. Keep the past, sell the future. Nah, you're a funny guy, Master. I can't lie, bro. You crack me up, lad. You do, man. You crack me up, lad. Nice little handshake with company for a low move. Yeah, I don't see him going like a bar. I think Bayern's probably a little bit too high up on the list for him, but maybe a little bit lower. Maybe could he not go to Dortmund? I mean, could he not go there? Could he not go Frankfurt? Could he go Leverkusen? Could he go Freiburg, Europa League? Could he go Mainz, Conference League? Could he go Leipzig, non-European? Like, it don't have to be Bayern. It just has to be a decent team. You know what I mean? What I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. I'm a big Pep backer, bro. Yeah. Still criticise him when I think he's got stuff wrong. Yeah, because it ain't North Korea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, exactly, AP, exactly. And maybe Pep, I see people say Pep's finished. I don't think he's finished. But I also don't have a fucking crystal ball. He could be finished. Who fucking knows? I don't think he is. And I hope he's fucking not. And I'll back him. But I also don't have a crystal ball, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, big up Crystal B for the super chat. Shout out Rustin O'Neill, man, for the 13 months. I hit the like button, brace. LFG Bray. Come on, man. Big up to you, bro. Galatasaray is officially acquired. Yeah, I did see that. I seen this morning. We did have a bit of a chat about it this morning, bro. I think it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's a little bit interesting. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with the goalkeeper situation, but you know what? I know the season's nowhere near starting. So before anyone says, "Oh, the season's nowhere near starting," the transfer windows. I know it's but I think this needs to be resolved quicker. Like, I don't want this dragging on. Yeah, I don't like the right back position for me. That can drag on a little bit. Like, I don't really mind if that goes towards the back end of August or whatever. Like, I think we're fine. I think we've got time to sort that out. Yeah. I'm not really rushing on that. I think we need a right back. But if we get Tino Livramento on deadline day, I ain't going to be like, why the fuck is it happening on deadline? It should have happened. You know, like, for example, the midfielder, when we signed Nico Gonzalez, everybody was like, why the fuck are we not signing a midfielder? Why did we sign Nico Gonzalez, the midfielder, on the last day of the transfer? Like, everyone was saying that, yeah. The right back, I'm not really asked if we sign him on deadline day. I don't think it's that. Like, it's important to the season, but a couple of games at the start of the season ain't going to determine whether or not we win the league, yeah? The goalkeeper thing, though, for me, I just think it's unsettling. I think it's unsettling because both of our goalkeepers, let's be honest, don't want to be here. I don't think that's very good. I don't think that's good. Yeah. And I think that we need to do something on that. And I don't think that it's a good thing that drags on towards the end of the transfer window. The right back, no problem. That can go to transfer deadline day for all I care. We've got Nunes. He'll do me for a couple of games. I'm not asked. Yeah. But for the goalkeeper, I think that needs to be resolved quicker. And it can be resolved by a number of ways. One, City can leak it to the press and leak it to the journalists that none of them are leaving and they're both going to be our goalkeepers for next season. Okay, cool. I know some of you guys won't like that because you want Ederson gone or whatever, but at least it deads the rumours. Yeah, deads the rumours. They're our goalkeepers. Okay, people have the moaning. Don't want Ederson. Want them to go. They're both shit, whatever. Yeah, but it deads the rumours. The uncertainty is gone. Another one would be obviously to start leaking that one of them is going to leave and we're going to be buying a new goalkeeper. And again, that will cause some uncertainty in a short term, but we'll know that, well, this is actually happening. So something is going to happen. Whereas at the moment, we're just kind of like, what the fuck's going on here? Are we signing a player or not? Is Ederson going to be our number one or not? Is Ortega going to be here or not? I'm leaning more towards get them both gone, 100% on Ortega. 65, 17. I mean, it's a big decision to get rid of both of them, isn't it? 100%. Listen, I don't know. Because my current stance on the goalkeepers, right, is to get rid of Ortega, buy a new Ortega replacement. But then my Ortega replacement is not an Ortega replacement, it's an Ederson replacement. And then I'm basically saying to Ederson, yo, you're fighting it out with this new guy. But then I just think Ederson will be like, nah, I'm not fighting it out. I'll leave. And then you're screwed because then Ederson will be like, right, I'm going Saudi, and then you've got to find a new goalkeeper. So do you just say to Ortega, you're staying one more year, then you can leave next year, Ederson, you're gone. And be a bit more like proactive and a bit more ruthless. We spoke about it this morning. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because and again, I spoke about it this morning, so sorry if I'm repeating myself. And I am repeating myself. But like, I do think it's mint that like we don't hear a lot from our club in terms of like, you know, rumors and speculation. Like if you look at like United and shit, like they leak stuff in the press all the time. I don't think that's good, but at the same time, I also think sometimes just a little bit of news or a little bit of like something, because otherwise everyone's asking questions. Everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't think it's good to have everything in the press like United. I don't think that's good, but I'm not sure having I'm not 100% sure having nothing in the press is all good as well, because then it just creates a certain environment, and everyone's just like, what's going on? Like with the goalkeeper, nobody here has a clue who our goalkeeper is going to be next year. No one has a clue it's going to be Ederson. And I know people say, well, Ederson said he wanted to stay. Well, he didn't really say that, did he? He says he's happy to stay, but he also wants to leave. Yeah, nobody knows. I don't think that's good either. So just a little bit of just a crumb. Just a crumb. LB, we have Craig. Yeah, I know we got Craig, man, but you know what I'm talking about, innit? You know what I'm talking about. Candy says, as for Ederson, he's chosen to stay, but he better lock in. We don't want to see the same bullshit from him again. Well, again, he's not really chosen to stay. That was kind of taken out of context a little bit. He said that he was happy to stay, right? But also he's happy to leave. So, and since then, he's been fucking cooked on Twitter, bro. And the guy defo sees it because fucking people was tweeting his wife and DMing his wife, which again is fucking weird behavior. Yeah. If you want to say Ederson out, yeah, and have your opinion on Twitter, cool. Fucking why you have to start messaging his wife and shit is fucking weird behavior, mate. So again, since he said that, or that statement came out, he's been fucking destroyed on social media. So he might just be like, bro, I'm not staying another year when I'm getting destroyed off the fan base. I'll leave. It's weird, bro. That's weird behavior, mate. If he's happy to leave, then he's not locked in, says Matty. Yeah, probably facts. Probably facts. And that's where I changed, as you guys all know, because I spoke about it bare times. Pre-Club World Cup, I was very much Ederson in, Ederson number one. You guys ain't going to realize what we're missing when he leaves, blah, blah, blah. He'll get better, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, last year was a bad year. It was his worst year in the City kit, but this year, he'll be on it. Yeah, I guarantee it. Yeah. And then I looked at him in the Club World Cup, and I was just like, shit. He's making mistake after mistake. He's not getting better. He doesn't look locked in. He doesn't look committed. And I am someone that changes my opinion. And I don't, people call me a flip-flop. I don't give a shit. I change my opinion based off evidence and facts. And what I thought was going to happen in that Club World Cup is that Ederson would be mint and he'd show everyone that he's going to lock in this season, leave on a free next year, win us a Premier League, and they'll be like, yo, see you in a bit. What I saw was a guy that was making mistakes, more mistakes than I ever thought he would make in that, and then, doesn't, to me, look locked in. So then I have to think to myself, yeah, do I stick with him and that? I don't know, man. It's not easy because I rate the guy. I love him, but he doesn't look like he's locked in to me. You go to sleep at the wheel. Keep him, pay him 800 grand a week, says Stop Online Hate. Bro, I was saying this like 6, 7 months ago, a year ago to Martin, say, give him 300 grand a week. I don't know if I'd do that right now, to be honest. I think he's done his head. Yeah, well, exactly. This is the thing, yeah. At the end of the day, right, if that Saudi thing is still on the table, right, okay, so the couple of things to speak about, yeah. One, he's won everything at City. There's nothing else to win. Nothing. Now, he could potentially go on to become one of the most capped, not capped or whatever, but most appeared players that's ever played for City, yeah, ever in our history. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. What is he on now? How many games has Ederson played for us? Right. Ederson, player profile. Oh, why does it always bring up the fake Ederson, man? For sake. Right, Ederson. Which one is he? There he is. Right, view full stats. Right, how many games has he played for City? He's played. Ads. Get off, man. One small cup helped me beat bloating and burn body fat. Fuck off. Right, stats by club. He's played 372 times for City. Man City all-time record appearances. Alan Oakes, 680. Right, so 680. You take away 680, take away 372. He's 308 away. Yeah, so if he was to play 50 a season, which he could easily do, yeah, what's that? How many more seasons is that? 6 seasons. He could easily do that. He's only 31. He could legit become the most appeared City player of all time. But does he really care about that? Probably not. And we all know he's on a pittance wage, relatively speaking. And at the end of the day, yeah, if Saudi Arabia are offering him 400 grand, 400 grand. Well, maybe he couldn't then. Maybe he couldn't. Yeah, but he could get close anyway. If Saudi Arabia offered this guy 400 grand a week, tax free, 400 grand a week, tax free on a 3 or 4 year contract, it's not looking good, Brett. It's not looking good. And his head's going to be there. And I don't know about you guys, yeah. Have you ever been in a job where, because I have. Have you guys ever been in a job, yeah, where your head's just gone? I'm not talking about you've had a couple of bad days, yeah, or a bad week or a bad month or whatever. I'm talking month after month after month after month. You fucking hate it. You hate your boss. You hate your job. Maybe you hate the commute. Maybe whatever reasons, yeah, you hate it. And have you ever managed to get back into a position where you're going into the same job, doing the same role with the same people, and actually have a completely different opinion? I didn't. No, I'm talking about fucking insurance company. Bro, once you hate your job, innit? Yeah? Once you hate your job and you're going in every day and you hate it, there ain't no going back, bro. Unless you get a different role, maybe you get a promotion. Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like you know, and especially also adding the fact, yeah, that you've been offered 5 times the wage, maybe even higher in a sunny country. It's gone. You're finished. You're done, bro. You're done. Honestly, I think maybe City should just tell him to leave. I don't know if I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so torn. I'm so torn on this Ederson thing, man. I'm so torn on it. I'm so torn on it, man. I don't want him to leave. I want him to stay. I want him to sign a new contract. I want him to be fucking mint. But he ain't signing a new contract, is he? He's not signing a new contract. And he doesn't look like he's getting better. And I'm just like, maybe City should just say, you know what, lad? You've done fucking mint. You've done mint. You've won everything. Thanks for everything. Tell Saudi to give us 15 million. You can go there, bro. And maybe we should be proactive. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think that's what I think. I think again, if I try and step out of the City mindset and be like, yo, think of this rationally, not as a City fan and no connection to Ederson. Yeah. He's just a player. Let's say he's not won anything for us. Let's just say he's a player. Yeah. Based off his performances last year, based off his performances in the Club World Cup, based off the fact that he pretty much doesn't want to be here, and based on the fact he's definitely going to leave in the summer anyway on a free transfer, would it be better just to say to him, let's move on? Then you come into the question of who the fuck do you buy? Because I ain't convinced on any of them. Well, that's a whole new conversation. Who the fuck do you actually buy? No, he didn't really say that, though. He didn't really say that. He basically said he's happy to stay, but he also is happy to leave. He didn't really say that. And then he come out and was like, yeah, I don't know where these stories have come from. But Mahrez said Sam Lee was chatting shit 3 seasons ago, when Sam Lee said he's going Saudi. 3 weeks later, he went to Saudi. Yeah, these players do it all the time. These players say shit like, oh, it's not true. Sterling tweeted, I didn't have no row with Sterling. Sorry, I didn't have no row with Pep. This is all bullshit. It was in fucking Pep Guardiola's book that they had a row. So, you know, I don't really... it sounds bad, innit? But I don't really think you can believe what players say, to be honest. You know what I mean? And as well, Ederson's going to be like... Ederson probably ain't going to want to burn bridges with City fans, innit? He ain't going to be like, yeah, I want to leave. But... again, I don't think it needs to be like that. I don't really think it needs to be like that. I think it can just be like, "Lo, I've done a solid job for you. I've won you bare prems and that. I'm leaving. You're going to get a fee, and you're going to get a new goalkeeper to take you into the next 5, 6, 10 years or whatever." You know? Easy decision. Sell Ortega, sign an Ederson replacement, have them compete for... yeah, no, that's what I'd do. But then B, you're Ederson, right? You already don't really want to be here anyway. And you could leave. If Ederson rang up the Saudis, yeah, and say, yo, I want to leave. City has said go, 15 million, bid it, and I'm there. Saudis are bidding 15 million, right? If Pep Guardiola and Hugo Viana, yeah, take Ederson into a room tomorrow and say, listen, Ortega's leaving, but we're not signing an Ortega replacement. We're signing Diogo Costa. You could battle it out with him for number 1 spot. I just think Ederson's going to be like, nah. I ain't battling out with no one, bro. It's my last year. If I'm staying, I'm playing week in, week out. He's just going to say, nah, I'll just leave then. And I don't blame him for that. And I don't think that's a problem. I get it. Why would he want to? Why would he want to bat it out? Why would he potentially want a whole bench all season when he could be fucking living in Saudi on 5, 6, 7, 8 times the wage? I would in an ideal world, I would do that in an ideal world, but I don't. The world ain't ideal, and I don't think Ederson would accept that. If City sell Ortega tomorrow and sign Diogo Costa, do you think Ederson's going to be like, "Oh, chilling, I'll keep him out the team. I'll fight for my." He might do. I just don't think he would. I think Ederson's gone. You know what Ederson's like? He's a chill guy, bro. He's the most chill footballer that I've ever seen in my life. And I think if that happens, it's going to be like, nah, I'll just go Saudi and get the bag. You know? See what else you guys are saying, man. It's a World Cup year. Ederson won't risk not playing. Yeah, I don't really think going Saudi is going to help him in that regard, but I hear what you're saying anyway. Let him go, blood. What about ter Stegen? Nah, I don't want ter Stegen, bro. I feel like ter Stegen's so like, bro. I was playing with ter Stegen, yeah, on FIFA 2014 or some shit like that, bro. When he was at Mönchengladbach. Yeah, what we do? I'm not signing ter Stegen. Yeah, I want. If I was signing a goalkeeper, mate, yeah, I want to sign a goalkeeper that's like in the prime or literally just about to enter the prime. I don't want fucking ter Stegen. How old is ter Stegen? He's got to be like in his 30s, no? Ter Stegen. 33. I don't know, that's still pretty young for a goalkeeper, but nah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right, mate. More like ter statue. Yeah, and people call him ter statue. Now, fucking get out of here, kill, man. Take him, Sanchez. Look at Brazil. Alisson, his first choice. Yeah, exactly. So again, it's not even like he's going to get the Ederson. He's not going to get the Brazil position, is he? So it's not even like the thing is, it's not like if he goes Saudi, then he ain't going to play for Brazil. Bro, you ain't playing for Brazil anyway. Because Alisson will play for Brazil. So it don't really matter. The only way Ederson is playing, yeah, is if Alisson gets injured. And that's happening whether he's in Saudi or City anyway. 4 choices: Chevalier, Costa, Trafford, or Donna Kebab. Yeah, I mean they are the 4 choices you'd probably say, wouldn't you? I don't really think anybody else is. I've seen that Sommer's going to Galatasaray. He had fucking some good games in the Champions League last year. Obviously not in the final, but yeah, I'm maybe not saying get him at City, but yeah, I'm quite surprised he's going there. I'm surprised like that. No bigger team, or better team or whatever, is trying to get him. To be honest, Costa, I'm really concerned about Costa. You know, again, I give you the full disclosure. I've only seen him 3 times, but in 2 of those games, he was bad. He made bad mistakes that led to goals, and I don't think that's a pretty good ratio as for a goalkeeper. I would say in the other game, he was actually pretty good. He made some mint saves, but I can only go off what I go off. And people are saying it's only 3 games. Yeah, but I'm just telling you the facts. 3 games, 2 of the games, he wasn't just a ghost where I go, oh, he didn't really have any saves to make. Nah, he was actively bad. And in the other game, he was actively good. He made some really good saves. In fact, 2 of them we did watch-alongs for on More LB. Now, he might be mint. If he comes to City, he might be mint. And if he does, again, I hope he does. But he doesn't fill me with confidence. But not as Trafford. People out here twerking for Trafford. Trafford don't have worries about him. Because last time he was in the Premier League, he was awful. He reminded me of De Gea in his first couple of years at United when De Gea was flapping at everything. Now, De Gea went on to be a pretty good goalkeeper, to be fair. And maybe Trafford could go down the same route. But if he doesn't, you ain't winning anything. Say goodbye to any trophies, mate. Because if you're a bad goalkeeper, you're cooked. You know? Verbruggen's one that actually I only started paying attention to towards the end of the season. But, yeah. And he's pretty young as well, you know. I couldn't believe how young he is. I think he's 22 or something. I think Verbruggen will be an interesting one, you know. I think Verbruggen, for me, is one that, if Ederson did stay this year and so did Ortega, I think I'd be like proper watching Verbruggen to say, right, we've got one more year to like scout goalkeepers and shit. We need to be on it as fans. Yeah, obviously you don't really need to because we don't choose who we buy. But if you're like me, where like I like knowing who's on the market and who's good and who's not. I kind of like to know. Yeah, goalkeepers I don't really know, but for Bruggen, I'll be looking at him and saying, right, I'm watching Brighton games every game. I want to see what he's saying. Is he a good goalkeeper or not? Because that's one of the problems with goalkeepers. Is like you don't really know because no one really watches goalkeepers. Like when you're watching a football match. Like you might keep your eye on like if say you're watching a football match just casually, right? Not when we're doing a scout alongs, right? Scout alongs is different. When we're doing scout alongs, is different. When we're just watching a game casually with your mates at the pub or you may be watching it on TV, you might keep your eye on a midfielder for a couple of minutes, or you might keep your eye on a winger for a couple of minutes, or a striker or defend. No one's watching a goalkeeper, are they? Like actively looking at him and going, "Oh, that's 7 passes completed out of 7." No one's doing that. No one's doing that. Oh, he had a good save there, but you're not actively getting to the end of the game going, oh, he collected 3 crosses from corners, all successful. Like, no one's doing that. So this is why when people say, who would you choose as a goalkeeper? I don't know who I choose as a goalkeeper. I have no idea. No idea who we would get. Because I actively look at goalkeepers and I'm watching them. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Big up Perfect Storm, man. If O'Reilly goes, we need that buyback clause in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure City are not stupid to do that, bro. To not put a buyback clause. To be honest, it should be non-negotiable. I think personally, every single player that is sold from Manchester City, who's like an academy player, should have a buyback clause in there. Every player. And if the club who's buying him don't want to put it in, then we're not selling. Unless you're selling him for like 100 million, and in which case you need to be wondering why the hell are you selling a player for 100 million? Yeah, it should just be standard procedure. It should be standard procedure, mate. It really should. But I'll big up for the super chat. What are you guys saying? Fabrizio post? No, there's no Fabrizio post. Fake news, man. Fake news. Big up Perfecto. No, that tweet was fake news. Get a sell on like 50%. Yeah, you got sell-ons, add-ons. To be honest, sell-ons I'm not that asked about. Yeah, it's obviously good for the club for money, but if it's a sell-on, that means we've not bought them, which means obviously we don't want them back. Do you know what I mean? You've got to because Kai, not every single player is like Cole Palmer and getting sold to Chelsea. A lot of these players are getting sold to Dortmund or Mönchengladbach or Brighton or Sheffield United. It's that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? It's that sort of stuff. Oh, it's on his YouTube video. It's on his YouTube video. Newcastle haven't turned down Liverpool's £120 million bid yet. Weird, eh? Mad, if that happens, boys, then fuck me. That's a madness. That's a madness, lads. I can't lie. You know. They get Isak and Wirtz. Fuck. Damn. Shit, boys. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh, Pep's take that fucking Carabao Cup seriously, mate. Yeah, be real. It's our only chance at that trophy next year. On the real, he needs to take that Carabao Cup seriously next year, mate. Because, bro, I don't really think, like... I think Champions League is going to be tough for us. Yeah. I think Champions League, you need to know how to play. And I think we've had too much turnover in the squad to really give that a good go and win it. Now we need to be getting to at least quarterfinals, semi-finals. But I just think that like I feel that you need to be a well drilled, and I feel like when you've got a whole new back line, like if you deep it, yeah, our goalkeeper might be different, our right back should be different, our 2 centre backs are going to be different because you know Diaz had plenty of injuries and he's got a new partner in Gavardiol. Our left back's different, Rodri's different because he only just come back from his ACL. Reinders is different, Cherky's different, Marmoush is different, Haaland's the same. I just feel that like I don't know. I just feel like you need that. I know PSG like did, but at the same time, I don't know. Just feel like you kind of need that. Prem, it's going to be tough again. It's going to be tough to win that if they get Isak. So you got to go for the domestic cups, man. What do I predict for the season? My prediction ain't great, bro. If you want my honest opinion, I think we'll come second in the Prem. And I think maybe quarterfinals, semi-finals, Champions League. I mean, you don't know about Champions League. You don't know the draw, do you? I don't think we'll win the Champions League, and I don't think we'll win the Prem. I'm not saying it. I'm not fucking like saying it in like a negative way. It's just my honest opinion, isn't it? That's just my opinion. I think we'll come second. So, farming domestic cups. I'm saying go for the domestic cups. Go win me a domestic double. And then the year after, when everyone's settled, that's when I think, right, Champions League, Premier League. However, you know, I'm not saying we can't win the Prem. If Rodri gets back to his full like potential that we know he can play at, and Foden can get back to his potential, well, them two won us the Premier League last time anyway on their own, basically. And then you throw into Turkey in there. Like we can. I'm not saying we can't win the Prem. I just don't think we will. I think we'll come second, but I think we could win it. You know, and I put the tweet out today. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I get asked a lot of questions from not really City fans. No, I get lots of questions on the YouTube shows that I go on and like other panels and sometimes in this chat, but most people in this chat are City fans anyway. And a lot of the questions that I get asked when I go on these other shows is, RLB, do you think City are in a transition year? Or they'll say, I think City are going to struggle this year, not because you're shit, because you've signed so many players. It's a transition year. And I say, okay, that's a valid question. It's a valid concern. However, Liverpool have signed a new right back. They've signed a new left back. They've signed a new 10. They're getting a new striker and potentially have a new left winger. So why might it not be a treble? Why might it not be a transition year for them? Or is it simply just because they've signed who's mint and might be getting Isak who's mint? Is it the quality? Because that question is not really about quality, is it? It's about transitioning. It's about getting the players to gel. Well, that's not really different, is it, compared to the quality? So, and I know they just won the league, AJ, but again, that's not really the question. The question is, if people are saying City are going to struggle because they've got all these new players, well, why are Liverpool not going to struggle? They've got a load of new players. They got a new left back, right back, attacking mid striker, might get a new left winger. You know what I mean? And people say, well, they won the league last year. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant to the point. That's irrelevant to the question. They're still completely changing half the team, mate. You know? Sort both positions out and we're good to go. Yeah, I think if we, like I say, I think there's a little bit of uncertainty about the goalkeeper situation, which needs to be resolved. And if we get a right back, yeah, I think. But again, who's the right back? The only right back I can see us signing is Tino Livramento. That's it. Nobody else. And as Lee Robinson will probably super chat $2.99 in a minute, we ain't getting him. Mama, yeah, exactly. I've never and ever care about what other teams do. Fucking, we got enough to be thinking about, says Paul. Their core is stable, says Elia. Yeah, their core is stable. We don't really have a stable core, do we? We just spoke about Ederson for half an hour. Don't know what's going on with him. The centre backs, we have debates about whether Diaz should start or not. Then obviously we've got Rodri in there. That's stable. Well, we think it's stable. We pray it's stable. Do they have a DM? I think they're going to run Gravenberch again. I'm hopeful that won't work because as good as and it's difficult because I know Liverpool fans are like, what you talking about? He was mint. As good as Gravenberch was last year, and I did think he was good. I did think that in some of the bigger games, you could tell he wasn't a DM. Now, it might get better, and you might not see that this year. I'm hoping that he just sort of like this year, he sort of like just doesn't quite do that well. But if he does like he did last year, then they've got to go. What a player he is, man! He covers ground so well. But I did think at PSG, for example, I didn't think he had a good game at all against PSG. I didn't think he had a good game at all against PSG. You know what I mean? Our team is good enough to win trophies, but we're never challenging 4 or 4 with it. Oh, like all fronts. Yeah, it's difficult to see, isn't it? It's difficult to see. Yeah, Aaron. Viana, get us some outgoings, says Sam. Zubimendi and Rice is a great midfield combination. They just have no creator. Yeah, exactly. I've been asking this question to Arsenal fans when I go on the shows. I'm saying you've got that good sort of base, and it sounds mint, doesn't it? Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard, but Odegaard's not a natural creator. As you've seen from his output numbers over the years, his output numbers stink. Rice isn't a great creator. So where I think they might in some games when they're coming up against like low block sides, they might struggle a little bit with creativity. They might not, but I just I don't think there's a great deal of creativity in there. Because the difference is with us is Rodri is a mad good creator and he's our DM. So it's a bit of a cheat code. Because you've got your creator, say it's Cherky, you got the creator, he's a better creator than Odegaard anyway. You've got Reinders who can do a bit of creating, chip in. But then you've got Rodri who can create as well. So it's a bit of a cheat code, It's a bit of a cheat code. He's I think he's overrated as well. I actually agree with Lee. I think the guy's an 8. I don't think he's a 10. I think he should come deeper and link the play rather than being as high up on the pitch as he is, because he doesn't score that many goals and he doesn't get that many assists. Up until last year, I'm pretty sure Kevin De Bruyne in that year he got 20 assists, had the same amount of assists as Odegaard had at Arsenal in his entire career in the Premier League. I just don't think they play him in the right position. And then they've gone and signed Madueke. What the fuck is all that about? Madueke? Imagine if this club signed Madueke. Can you imagine the response? I cannot. But Manavajit says, I connected the dots and got conclusion that Liverpool wanted to sell Nunes first and then starting their bid for Isak with Echeverri as their second choice, but it went wrong because Newcastle big for Echeverri. Well, it's a theory. It's a good theory, potentially. Yeah, maybe. Could be on something there, bro. Big up to Toe as well. Says Liverpool will bid 120 million for Isak. If they get him, we need more than a right back goalkeeper. We just got £100 million season kit deal. Spend the money. Someone is world class. Says Toe. Who you get rid of? Because you need to get rid of players. We've just signed a left back. We won't get rid of them. I don't think so. I think you run that. You get a goalkeeper and right back. I think you run that for a season. It would be a winger, wouldn't it? It'd be a winger. It'd have to be Savio or Doku would have to go. But I think they're going to get one more year. You've got to hope that they don't gel or some shit like that, bro. Yeah, I think part of it is hoping. It is, to be honest. Why hasn't Fraudiola been sacked as second City saint? Big up, man. Yeah, he's still here, bro. Bruno G now, says Nico. It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen when we've got Tijani, Reinders, Gonzalez, and Rodri. I think we get 90 points next season. I don't know. That'd be quite a lot more than last year, wouldn't it? What did we get last year? Premier League title. Premier League table. We've got 71. So we'd need 19 more points. 19 more points. I mean, to be fair, we fucked it against United. That's 3. Fucked it against Brighton. How many games did we throw away last year, chat? We actually only finished 13 points behind Liverpool. And I know Liverpool sort of took the foot off the gas towards the end, right? So before you want to start saying, well, Liverpool were chilling. We only finished 13 points behind Liverpool last year. And we were dead. You know what I mean? That's actually pretty mad when you deep it. And a lot of those games we threw away. Let me get our fixtures up from last year and let's see how many of those games we actually legit just threw away. Sorry, guys. PTSD time. Yeah. PTSD time, chat. Some of you guys ain't going to like this, but we got to do it, man. We don't have to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Share screen. Right, let's have a look. How many of these games should we actually have won, but we actually legit just threw away? And how many points did we throw away last year? I'm talking about proper threw away. Like we had it in our control. Yeah, right. Where's Premier League? Right, let's have a look. Arsenal, we didn't throw that away. We didn't throw that away. Newcastle, I know they got a penalty, but I wouldn't say we threw it away. Like, it was just a penalty. It is what it is. I wouldn't say we threw that away. Bournemouth, we got absolutely cooked. We didn't throw that one away. We deserved to lose. Brighton, chat. Was this not when we was winning with 10 minutes to go? I'm pretty sure this one we threw away, no? This is our first three points. We threw this away, no? I'm pretty sure we conceded 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. I know every team can do it as well, spicy toes, but we're focusing on ourselves, bro. Right, so that's 3 points. Tottenham, we didn't throw it away. We deserved to get beat. We were shit. Liverpool, we didn't deserve to win. We were crap. Crystal Palace away. I don't think we threw it away. I think it was just a stand. In fact, I think we could have scored in that last minute of the game, no? Yeah, no, we didn't throw that away. Man United, home, we threw it away. We threw it away. That's 6 points. That should have been a win. What I'm talking about here, chat, is games where it literally should have been a win, like we was winning or we had it in our control and we somehow come away without a win. Yeah. So like Tottenham at home, that is not that case. That is not the case. So yeah, United, that's another one. 6 points. Villa away, nah, we got cooked. Everton at home. What happened in that game? I wouldn't say we threw it away. Like we obviously should be winning, but probably shouldn't have thrown it away. Brentford threw it away. Threw it away. 100% threw it away. That's 9 points. 2-0 up. 2-0 up. Conceded 2 goals in the last, 6-7 minutes? 100%. Oh, Haaland penalty miss against Everton. Ooh. What are we saying, chat? We threw in that Everton. All right, we'll do Everton as well. Right, we're up to 12 points. We're up to 12 points. Yeah. In fact, no, we're not, because we got a point, so it's only 2. So we're up to 11. Am I right there, chat? Because this is 3. This is 4. This is 5, 6, 7. This is 10, yeah? So up to 10. We're up to 10, chat. So 10 points we threw away. And again, to repeat, for people who are not getting this, I'm talking about literally, we fucking should have won. Like, we had a penalty that we missed, or the fucking defense crumbled. So up to 10. United away, we were crap. This is an interesting one. Because we didn't deserve to win. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I think Pep kind of threw this one away by not starting Nunes, chat. And not, I think that was our major L against a team that played low block and having no width. What do you reckon? Did we throw those 2 points away against Southampton or nah? Or is it more just we was just shit? All right, we'll leave Southampton out of it. 10 points. The conclusion. What's the conclusion of this pointless exercise? Is that last year, we should have had an extra 10 points, which would have took us to 81 points. And it would have took us 3 points behind Liverpool. And again, Liverpool was on the beach in the last couple of games, so we still would have been miles behind them, right? But the point is, that 10 points should have been our 10 points. This is not games where I'm just saying we should have won because we're better than them. I'm saying, like, literally, bro, we had it in our hands. United at home, we was there. It was the 88th, 89th minute, and we was winning 1-0, and we lost. We didn't even draw the game. We lost the game. Brentford, 2-0. 2-0. Collapse. That's 10 points. You get those 10 points this season, provided we don't do these collapses. Bang. You're in the title race. So what is the point of that exercise? Well, the point is if we can stop collapsing this year in games, then we will be in a title race anyway. Now, it won't be that on its own will not be enough to win us the league. Yeah? That will not be enough to win us the league. However, it'll probably put us in a title race. It'll probably put us in a title race. Now, again, you still need to improve because you need to win other games. Like, you can't be getting beat off fucking Tottenham at home when they're shit and finish 17th, 4-0. Like, what's all that about? You know what I mean? You can't be going to fucking United away when they're crap, getting a point and then saying it's a good result. Do you know what I mean? Crazy, bro. Oh, yeah, McAtee. Fuck, yeah, McAtee had that chance, didn't he? Rah. That's actually wild. That was actually wild. So wild. Oh, we were so close to not getting Champions League last year. I'm just deep in it, chat. I'm deep in it. I'm deep in it right now. We were so close to not getting Champions League. 5 points it was. 5. But if we just screwed up against, like, if you think that Everton goal, yeah, Nico O'Reilly in the away game, what minute did he score that? What minute did he score that? It was late on, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 85th minute or something? Wasn't it like 85th minute? That got us 3 points. Then we got the 83rd minute it was. And then we got the Villa goal, the last minute. That was another 2 points. So there would have been 2 draws. So that's 4 points right there. We were so close to not getting Champions League. Oh my God, I don't know what would have happened if we wouldn't got Champions League, but that would have been madness. Madness. Crazy chat. Yeah, smash these likes up as well, people. Smash these likes up. You know what's funny as well, Tony? Yeah, I actually feel like I'm kind of like low-key being a bit positive here, but just in a negative way. But it's just probably not coming across like that. Big Up Perfecto says, we have question marks on Akanji, Diaz, Ake. We have no right back. We have the money to buy a world-class right back and centre back. I think that's what we start with. Centre back will be 2026, 100%. We ain't signing a centre back this summer, bro. We ain't signing a centre back. They'll run Diaz and Gavardio. Yeah, they've got Huzanov, they've got Hayes, they still have obviously Kanji or whatever. Ake Stones are all still there. It'll be next summer. Next summer will be the one. Yeah, next summer will be the one. And obviously, if it's Diaz that doesn't have a good year, then I think they'll go big for someone. If they both do decent, then they might get rid of someone else or whatever. But 2026, the right back thing is what needs to happen. Echeverri is the next big thing, Matt. My words already better finish than Savinio. Bro, I'm telling you, man. Echeverri, bro. Eche Messi hype is real. Yeah, wherever he gets loaned to, I'm on those scout alongs every game. Maybe not every game, but a lot of the games I'll be doing the scout alongs, man. I can't wait to watch him. He's such a good player. I love watching him play as well. I love watching the guy play football. He's so good. Some players, man, like you just like watching them. Like, you know, Yamal. I love watching Yamal play football, man. Yeah, he's such a good football player. Like the way he plays, mate, and the way he moves with the ball and shit, it's like nice to watch. And Echeverri is going to be nice to watch. Should he be loaned? It depends on how Pep plans on playing Cherky and Foden. If he plans on playing, I think there's room for Echeverri in the squad. I really, really do. I think he can stay, and I think he can get game time. For example, if you've got Cherky and Foden starting, say he starts Cherky down the middle and Foden on the right, then you get to 80th minute, 70th minute, you want to take Cherky off, then you can leave Foden on the right and put Echeverri in the middle. Like, so there's plenty of games. There's plenty of opportunities. I think there's plenty of opportunities for him to play. I think a lot of people are saying there's no minutes for him. I think there's more minutes for him than there is Nico O'Reilly. I don't think Nico O'Reilly will be played in that sort of advanced attacking midfield role. So Nico O'Reilly's competing with a different player and different position. I think there are minutes available. However, you know, if City want him to be playing week in, week out, cool, mate. Go and get a loan and we'll be watching him. And I'm pretty sure he'll slam it. And then we'll, you know, whoever it was in the chat, Itchy Goat, who says he's a fraud, we'll be cooking him. You know what I mean? And he's a top player, man. The top player. He has so much potential. And again, I've said this bare times. I think he's going to the very top, man. He's got sky high potential. Now, he might not meet that potential. So many players in their career look like they're going to be absolutely mega superstars and then don't make it for various different reasons. But he does legit have like unbelievable potential. He's so fucking good, man. He's not played for the main squad, but he made their preliminary squad, Karl. So Argentina do it a little bit different when they announce their squads. They announce a squad. Maybe England do this. I don't know. They announce a squad for the tournament, and then like 3 weeks before, they then chop like 6, 7, 8 names off the squad, like a little bit of like you're in the squad, but it's like a preliminary squad. And he was in that. He was in that squad, and then got out. So he's in the vision. They see him. They know who he is, and that. It's not like they have no doubt that they know him. He's in the squad. He just didn't actually get selected for the main squad. How many G&A am I expecting from our wingers? Well, I've got the spreadsheet in it. I've got the spreadsheet. Player targets, G&A targets. I've got the spreadsheet, spray. Me and Hugh did it, innit? Are we going to go through as the season goes on? Me and Hugh are going to go through the target list. So our wingers, my target list for our wingers. This is G and A, yeah. Marmoush 30, Foden 30, Savio 20, Doku 20, Bob 13. They're my targets. Which I actually think are pretty low, if I'm being completely honest. Like, bro, Savio got 12 assists alone this year and 1 goal. So he's already on 13 minimum. That doesn't even include cups. So if these guys can't get me 20 G&A, then like we need to sell. I'll be real with you guys. I smash these likes up as well, people. If you've not done so already, welcome to the stream. Like and subscribe. We've got the new emoji things. Liverpool 82 points last year is laughable. Yeah, it is laughable. To be fair, they did take the foot off the gas towards the end. They didn't win a single game in the last 4 because they were chilling. They're on the beach. They were all probably pissed, to be honest. But yeah, it's crazy, mate. It's crazy. 84 it was. Big up the nice guy says Simon Munoz cheap, knows Prem, played well against Vinny. I've said before, bro, I'm not against short-term signings. I know some people are against short-term signings. I'm not against short-term signings. If you need a player to fit to do something for you, yeah, to buy you a couple of years, who's decent, who's not shit, I'm not against short-term signings at all. I'm really not. So long as they're not dead. I'm against shit short-term signings. Monya's a good player. You get him for a couple of years and you go back in for the next big right back. Yeah. You could potentially do it, bro. I'm not against it, man. Shout out Martin as well. Should throw everything at Liverpool now, in my opinion, not only because of our right back situation, also to fund Newcastle in the race for Ekatike. You've been thinking outside the box, bro. Big up Denton as well, man, for the super sticker, bro. Appreciate it, man. Come on, Denton. Appreciate it, man. Every time. Go on. Big up Toll. So 75 for Tino may stop Isak to Liverpool. Worth it. I know, but apparently they're not selling, innit? They're not selling. They're refusing to sell, apparently. They're refusing to sell. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? Newcastle fans must be so pissed off. Every single one of their players just gets linked to everybody else. Isak to Liverpool. Liverpool to City. They must be so annoyed. But, it is what it is. It's because football's died off. So you've ended up with some fucking class players, mate. See, that's the difference. When City were bought, yeah, we bought mint players. Everybody else had mint players. Nobody wanted to buy Aguero because everybody had mint strikers. Not because Aguero wasn't good. Yeah, Real Madrid had Benzema. They didn't need Aguero. Bayern had Lewandowski. They didn't need Aguero. Barca was playing fucking Messi. They didn't need Aguero. All these teams had mint players. They didn't need him. They didn't need Yaya Toure. They didn't need company. They had mint centre back. Whereas now, football's dead. Newcastle found themselves with some unbelievable players, and everyone's like, "Sorry, mate, football's dead. We're coming to you." There's no right backs out there. There's no strikers out there. Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? LB, Isak and Rodrigo. What the fuck's going on? Bro, if you get Isak and Rodrigo, I don't think you will. I still don't think you fully get any. I don't know, man. The Isak thing's weird, bro. It's weird because I'm not being funny, yeah. If Newcastle, yeah, I've said to City, we're not selling Livramento, but then sell Isak to Liverpool. What the fuck are they doing? Because they could have sold Livramento to City for 75 mil, yeah, and then gone to Isak and said, right, here's a big fucking contract, mate, yeah. 350 grand a week, 400 grand a week, you're the man. Yeah, and then they could have gone and got a new right back and be chilling. And if they end up selling Isak instead of Livramento, I think that is so weird. I think that's so weird. So that's why I don't see him selling Isak, because I just think that's just backwards. I think that's backwards. Proper backwards. Proper strange behaviour. Would love Rodrigo, says Denton. I can see them getting Isak, but yeah, but do you not agree with me though? Trust. Why wouldn't they just sell it? If you're Newcastle and you can either sell, let's just say you can either sell Livramento to City or Isak to Liverpool. Why on earth would you sell Isak to Liverpool? Why would you do that? You just do Livramento. You think Livramento's harder to replace than Isak, Mario? Nah, no chance. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No way, bro. No way. The Georges returned on the stadium. It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. It just makes absolutely no sense. Like, bro, they could literally just go and buy a new right back, innit? They could go buy Munoz. They could go buy Martin Fernandez. They can go buy this guy, that guy. Yeah, I'll go and get the next. All right, go get the next best English right back that's coming through. Who's the best English right back coming through after Livramento? There's got to be someone. Go to the England under 21s, because Livramento don't even play right back for England under 21s. He plays left back. So who's England's right back? Who's England's under 21s right back? I think I could go get Jed Spence. You guys all say Jed Spence mega. Yeah, there you go. You all rate him. You all think he's mint. So they could go and get Jed Spence 50 mil. Bang. Amortise the fee. Happy days. Accountants are buzzing. FFP, tick. Isak, new contract, tick. New right back, Spence, who's absolutely mint according to you guys, tick. There you go. LB on a reel, you think Club should have just got Frimpong? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think he's a bit too OP if you've got Aït-Nouri on the left. Mate, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Imagine having Aït-Nouri on the left and then Frimpong on the right, bro. Do you not think that's a little bit like, bro? You ain't winning the Champions League with that. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, you're not winning the Champions League with those two. Prem, you might win a Prem. Yeah, you could win the Premier League. But Champs League, man, like, you need fucking solid defenders. You know, which is why someone said this on a stream recently in the chat. Someone said, LB, do you not think it's mad, like, the change in our defense from the treble year to what we're going to go with this year? And like, when I deeped it, I was like, yo, that is actually pretty mad, you know, because we had that defense that we had in that treble year, bro. Like, oh my days, it was just like, did we even realize at the time how fucking good it was? Like, it was just unbelievable. Clean sheet Inter Milan, clean sheet Bayern Munich, clean sheet Real Madrid. And no one could score against us, man. No one could score. It was just unbelievable. And yeah, obviously we had Rodri in front of it, whatever. But it was just full on defense, and then attack. You just go and score goals, and then that's what happened. The attack went and scored the goals, as they did against Bayern, as they did against Real Madrid, and we just locked it out of the back and said to everybody else, "You're not scoring, mate." Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, obviously last year was tough, but sometimes I do long for going back to that sort of style, man. Sometimes I do. Like, obviously, I'm buzzing with signed Nori and that. Like, obviously, I wanted him. But I know for a fact there will be times this season where he gets cooked or he just does something stupid defensive. And I'm like, oh, I wish Ake was playing. You know what I mean? Like, having players that can defend is just mint. But like I say, obviously, we're going in a new direction and, and also, I don't know if you could get away with that defense anymore because it offered very little going forward. But the reason why that team worked is because you had Kevin De Bruyne in his last ever good year. If we're being honest, like prime year, I know he did all right in the final league we won, but he wasn't really like mint, was he? Like the attack was just mega. Mahrez, mega. Bernardo that year on the right wing was mega. Haaland, 50 goals. Grealish actually worked in the only season that he's been here. KDB was mint. Gundogan was mint. Rodri was mint. So it's like, I don't think, I'm looking at the team now. Again, no disrespect. And obviously it's not disrespect because I'm comparing it to a treble winning team. I don't think they're good as what we had. So I don't know if we'd score the amount of goals that we did that year. Yeah, bro, Alvarez, Foden, I fucking had it figured out. There you go. It's breaking news, apparently. Sky Sports News exclusive. Liverpool are expected to rival Newcastle for Hugo Ekitike after being told Alexander Isak is not for sale this window. Yeah, there you go. So maybe Newcastle are just not selling anyone, which, to be fair, they have said all summer. They have said that all summer. Big up Cody James, big up Cody, man, for 5 months. Says the Saudi and Abu Dhabi wealth funds are sometimes competitors, I think. That's maybe that's why Newcastle won't want to deal with us. I don't know. I have no idea, bro. I have no. And to be honest, even if like the Saudi Abu Dhabi thing is like an actual like competition, or I don't have a fucking clue. I'm not a geopolitician. Like, do they deep it that much into football? Like, maybe they do. I don't fucking know. No idea. Maybe. It's a potential, isn't it, Cody? But I have no idea, bro. Newcastle just need to tell them to fuck off. Yeah, tell them to fuck off, but just tell City to fuck off while we knock on the door and try to sign Tino. Respect Newcastle for actually becoming a big team, though, if they're key fee player. Well, they have to invest, don't they? They have to invest. They have to. The thing is, right, Isak, for me, he's 25. And he's about to enter now. I'd say 25, 26. That's when you enter in your peak years, yeah? If he gets to end the next season and he cannot believe that Newcastle can win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, I think he'll be like, I've got to leave. That's why I've always said I think Isak leaves next summer. And the reason I think he leaves next summer and not this summer is because I think he'll just give it one more year. They're in the Champions League. I think he'll just have one more year, assess the situation at Newcastle. And if Newcastle almost win the Prem this year or almost win the Champions League, maybe he'll just go, I don't need to leave. I'll stay here. I can win the Premier. I can win the Champions League. If he gets to the end of next season and Newcastle nowhere in the Champions League, nowhere in the Premier, he'll go, right, I've done my time. 2 years left on my contract. You need to sell me. And then Newcastle will probably sell him 100 mil, 110 mil, maybe 120, whatever. And say, thanks for everything you've done. See you in a bit. And he'll probably go Barca or Bayern or something like that. Or maybe he'll go to Liverpool as well. Liverpool have Ekitike, Arsenal have Gyökeres. Yeah, he'll probably leave the country. He'll probably go Barca or something. I've always felt that's more likely. I've always felt that this year is a year too soon. Not a year too soon, because he's entitled to move if he wants to move. Like, if he wants to go to Liverpool, he's more than entitled to go to Liverpool. But I've always felt that he's got one more year to give Newcastle before he decides to actually go on. Newcastle can't match the wages. Well, they could if they sold Tino Livramento. That's my point, John. This is why I'm saying a strategy that Newcastle could potentially do is sell Livramento, yeah, sell him for 75. That crystallizes like a fucking £40 million, maybe even more, maybe a £50 million PSR profit. They're selling Longstaff 10 mil. That's 10 mil PSR profit. At that point, you can go to him and say, listen, now we'll give you the wages. Because this is the thing, Newcastle fans keep on saying, we don't have PSR problems. But I feel like, yeah, they don't have PSR problems, but how much can they spend? How much can they offer him on a new contract before being back in that situation? If they was to sell Livramento, it would help them out massively. And again, I think selling Livramento, whilst it is a backward step, I think you're taking one step backwards to take 2 steps forwards. If you sell Isak, you're taking 5 steps backwards and you're only going to take 1 step forward. It's a net negative. I think selling Livramento can be a net positive. And I'm not even saying that because it's City. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely do believe that. I think they could sell Livramento and still improve. If they sell Isak, even the most diehard Newcastle fan is going to tell you they're going backwards. Yeah. If I had Pete on the channel, if I had Pete on the channel and said to Pete, you sell Isak and get Ekitike, he's telling me it's a downgrade. He's telling me his team's going to be worse than last year. And no Newcastle fan will tell me different. If you sell Livramento and buy Martin Fernandes or go and get Munoz, is it really that much of a fucking downgrade? Is it real? How much is that going to impact the team? You're telling me it's going to be a material impact to the team that will stop them from doing it? I just don't see it, man. Maybe you do. Maybe some of you guys think he's that good that it'll materially impact the team. I just don't personally fucking see it, man. I just don't fucking see it personally. Oh, Martin's coming on chat. Let me send him the link. Yeah, link sent, man. Link sent. Why don't we sign Martin Fernandes? Because we're in a different position. City need to be winning the Premier League next year. That's why the club exists. That's why we've got Pep. Yeah. Whereas I think Newcastle they're probably in a position of trying to solidify. Obviously, they want to go win the league, and I think they should be in a title race with the players they've got. But I think they're in a position of trying to solidify Champions League again, bolster the squad to be able to compete with the Premier League, Champions League, maybe try and win I don't think Newcastle next year is saying, right, you've got to go and win the Prem. City have just spent 175 in January, just another 115. We're going to probably do another 50, maybe 100 if we sign a goalkeeper and a right back. We're in different periods of the clubs, you know. Now, again, you could sign Martin Fernandes if you think he's good enough. But I think Martin Fernandes for us is too risky. Whereas Newcastle could probably take a gamble on him. You know. I'd probably there, man. 100%. There has to be a new conversation. Bro, I've been saying this for a while. Yeah, at some point, man, we got to have a conversation about the new Big Six. 100%. I think, you know, maybe it might change. It might not be a Big Six anymore. It might be a Big Eight. Yeah, something like that. Remember, it used to be a top 4 when I was growing up. Yeah. It wasn't a Big Six. It was a top 4. And then Spurs were just in and around it. You know what I mean? But there was never a top 6 when I was growing up. And I'm pretty sure, you know, you go back in the early 90s or whatever, or maybe even the 90s when I was not really watching football because I was fucking young. There's probably something else. And then you go back to the 80s, there's probably something else. Someone in the chat who lives in the 80s probably could tell us, oh, it wasn't even a top 4, it's probably something else. And then 70s, 60s, whatever. Changes, done it? It changes. Pula not getting Isak, they'd have to sell Diaz, add Nunes to afford a 150 mil. Who's Napoli's right back? No idea, bro. No idea, bro. Top 3, top 4, now it's Big 6. Facts. Kick United out and add Newcastle. Yeah, I mean, United now haven't been in the top 6 for 2 years in a row. You got to use a different word if it's top 4, Big 6, the thick 8. Thick 8. It's looking thick, bruh. What is going on, man? Late night vibes. Late night vibes gone south. All right, guys, smash the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Martin's jumping on. I'm only going to do 10-15 minutes because I need to go to bed in it. We'll see what he's got to say. Just bad 3-1. We got you. Yeah, I know, man. I know. Put all in. That's mad. The busty 10. Oh, what the fuck is happening here? Hey, yo, chat, chill. The busty 10. Oh, no. What is going on? You guys have lost it already. You guys have lost it. Spurs will finish 5th. That's a brave call. I don't think so. I think they'll finish like 7th. I think they'll finish 7th. Maybe 8th. I don't know. I need to do a Premier League team predictor. I need to do a Premier League team predictor. I'll do one soon. I'll do a Premier League team predictor, and then I'll update it when this transfer window ends. You know, for signings and that. You know what I mean? We'll see what I'm saying. Me, I'm 30, bro. LB, where do you want McAtee to go? Hope he goes Bundesliga. Yeah, I want him to go Bundesliga. Go Bundesliga and cook, bro. I don't want you going Prem, man. I want you to go Bundesliga. I think he needs... I think he needs to go Bundesliga. I think he'll do good there. LB might not believe me, but I spoke to O'Reilly's uncle. He heard he got a good contract from City. He probably did get a good contract. City don't want to sell the guy, yeah? So City probably offered him a good contract. He's probably thinking to himself, am I going to play? I spoke about it right at the start of the stream. If you want to go back and scroll back, I did speak about it. I can't remember what period, but I did speak. No, I spoke about it pretty early on in the stream. If you want to just like rewind and watch that. Who will realistically challenge for the Premier League this season? I think it'll be City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But I think Liverpool, at the moment, I think Liverpool will probably win it. City second, Arsenal third. And that'll ask questions on Arteta then, because if he doesn't win anything this year, yeah, how long can you keep a manager at a club like Arsenal, massive club, and not win anything, chat? How long? How long? Nah, I think Chelsea will be fourth or fifth. I think Chelsea will be fourth or fifth, man. I can't lie. I think people are glazing them a little bit too much for the Club World Cup win. I honestly do. I think they'll get top four. But I think people are glazing them a little bit too much, man, if I be real. City 8 second. We'll see. Did you see the same kind of tweet? No, I didn't see it. Let me pull it up, bro. Let me pull it up, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Liverpool have again confirmed to Newcastle intention to present record bid for Alexander Isak. The proposal is ready, £120 million package. Wow. That is mad, chat. That is actually wild. Angel, man. Yeah, I don't even know what to say, bro.
Are you taking the fucking piss?
Crazy super chat. Crazy super chat right there. Have you seen the state of this super chat, man? Oh, wait a sec. I've not got my headphones on. I can't hear. Yo, have you seen the state of this super chat? Crazy, isn't it? You can leave if you want. He's like, I've got connection issues.
I just don't know what to say about that. Good evening.
Angel, man. This fucking guy. Big up Angel for the donation.
You've done her.
Yeah, I'm moving mad. I can't lie. The guy's super chats have just been getting fucking weirder and weirder as the year goes on. I can't lie, bro. Yeah. But yeah, how are you doing? I've only got 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, it is.
What are you saying?
No, just I'm not really surprised about the Nico news.
No, man.
I think we spoke about it privately, didn't we, a few weeks back? It was something that was kind of expected. And the thing is, I know people will blame Gundo, they'll blame Kovacic. It's not that. Probably doesn't want to leave because of them. That wasn't the problem. The problem is Reinders, Nico, G, Foden, and everyone else who's sat in front of him.
Yeah, I agree. Because I've said this for months, and I remember the first time I said it, people didn't get what I was saying. People thought I was like saying some mad shit. But I've said for months, if I was Nico O'Reilly, I would leave this summer because he ain't gonna play. And the fact is, and as people have rightly said in the chat multiple times, is there's a lot of teams around the world who are not interested in winning, and all they're interested in doing is making player profits. So what that means is they can buy someone like a Nico O'Reilly and they'll just play him week in, week out for 2 years, knowing that if he works, they'll just sell him on for double the price and make their cash.
Well, think of it this way. think of it this way. Nico O'Reilly's what, 20 years old?
20, yeah.
He's 20 years old. So he's had a taste now. And this is the best way I can, this is just my opinion, by the way, people. Nico O'Reilly is now in a very same situation as Cole Palmer. When Cole Palmer got the opportunity, instead of us going, right, let's give him the keys, we went and bought Jeremy Doku. And that's not a slight, by the way, in Jeremy Doku.
It's just facts.
It's facts. You've now just done the exact same thing with Nico O'Reilly and bought Tijani Reinders.
Yeah.
So Nico O'Reilly is sat there going, well, great. Gundo is going to go. Cobber's going to go. Here's my chance. You've just bought another 2 midfielders for a combined 115 million quid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's facts. Yeah.
Well, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to just sit there and he is 5th choice? Even before, take Gundo and Kovacic out of it, he's still 5th choice. He's probably 3rd choice at left back now.
Yeah, and I think it was Benno in the chat. I can't remember. I think it was Benno. He might not even want to play. People are saying this, Martin.
He doesn't want to play left back. He's a bloody midfielder.
He might not even want to play left back. People are just assuming that, oh, he'll be okay with left back minutes. How do you know? If you spoke to him, he might not want to play left back. You know, some players don't like playing in certain positions. He might not want to play left back. He might want to play midfield. He might go. City might be saying, oh yeah, he'll be back up left back and that. And he might be going, well, I don't want to play left back. I want to be a fucking midfielder. Yeah, so I'm you know, so it's like, yeah.
When's his contract up? His contract's
2028.
2028.
So we should get a good fee for him. It's not like he should be leaving for nothing. You should be getting at least 30 million for me. At least 30
years. Reinders, what, signed 5 years?
Yeah, it would have been a 5 year.
5 years. Nico G signed 6 years. He can't sit and wait for 6 years for those two to come out.
No, exactly.
And this is the problem that Echeverri's got now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, because I was saying before, I actually think Echeverri has more chance of getting minutes than Nico O'Reilly, because Nico O'Reilly, Martin, has to get in front of Gonzalez and Tijani Reinders just for that position next to Rodri, right? Whereas Echeverri, if we started a game, for example, with Cherky in the middle, Foden off the right, and say he subbed off Cherky, and he wanted to keep Foden on the right still, well, who's the natural replacement in the middle? Unless he plays Marmouche there, it will be Echeverri. I actually think Echeverri's got more chance of getting minutes than in the midfield.
Do you know we've got
to decide? Different position in midfield,
yeah.
But he's got more
we've
chance
got to decide. Are we a win club now? Are we a club that wins now and wants to win now? Or are we a club that wants to bring in the future? Because if you want to bring in the future and do all this, great, we'll do it. But then you have to go, we might not win a title for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but I actually said, Martin, I actually think we had the balance quite right for a long period of time. Like, we had Foden come through, fine. Then we started seeing Palmer come through. Obviously, we sold him, and that was a major mistake. And everyone knows it was a major mistake. We should never have done that. It's fucking ridiculous. And then we started seeing, and then everything, obviously, some of us will never truly get over the Palmer sale, because we were saying we should never have done it at the time. But we dealt with that. Then Bob started coming through. But then Bob got the injury. But Bob last year would 100% have been starting week in, week out, especially at the start of the season, because he had that right back, that right wing spot locked off in pre-season. He would have been our starting right winger. The problem is he's then stalled, and now people are like, "Oh, we never actually play." I actually think our academy sort of graduates coming into the first team, I think it's doing okay. I just think that we got a major one wrong that'll haunt us for the next 13 years, in my honest opinion, and we just have to deal with that. And we got really unlucky with Bob last year, and now because of that injury, I actually think that Bob's chances of playing week in, week out have now actually took a major drop, because we've had to then go and sign Marmoushi's come in, Foden might start playing on there, and it's just a bad timed injury for Bob, of course. But I don't. People are acting like we never bring through academy players. Like, Rico's been there, Foden's been there, Palmer was there and would have been there and could have been there had we not messed up. Bob was almost there. Nico O'Reilly's almost there. I do think we do.
Do you know what? I'm going to say this as well.
Okay, personally.
And people are like this. I think Nico O'Reilly's got to have a set of balls as well, mate.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I
What
think
you said.
Nico O'Reilly's got to be like, no, I want to stay and fight.
So what perspective are you saying that from?
So let him fight. But why does Nico O'Reilly why does he want out?
Because he doesn't need to fight.
But that's what I'm saying. I know everyone, because this, I mean, a lot of people have seen it, will blame Gundogan and Kovacic. It's not Gundogan and Kovacic that's the problem for Nico O'Reilly. It is Reinders, Nico G, Bernardo, Foden, and all of them that are in front of him.
Yeah, I hear that, but he doesn't need to fight. He could go to a Bundesliga club right now. He could probably go to one that's playing in some sort of European competition as well. Yeah, Joe Bellingham's just gone to Dortmund, and he's going to play Champions League football, and he can play week in, week out in European competition.
No, I agree. I agree.
He doesn't. Like, I would like him to stay and fight for his position. Of course, because I'm a City fan. But when I put myself in his shoes, why does he need to do that? He can just leave. He can leave tomorrow, and he can know that he'll be playing regular first team football, and that's one of the problems that this club has, right? And we've created it for ourselves. It's not a major issue. Like it's not a fucking disaster, but it's a problem that we've created. And the reason we've created it is because we've got such a good academy. We generate such good players, but then, as you said, you've also got these world-class players in front of them, like Tijani Reinders, Rodri and Cherky and Foden, and a lot of these young players that come through will not be at that level straight away to be able to take it. So what we end up doing is
Tijani Reinders is not sitting on a bench for a kid out the academy.
Facts.
Because Reinders will go somewhere else then.
Correct.
This is what you're gonna. If we want the Tijani Reinders and all these other players, great. Then we have to accept, sadly, we might lose youngsters in the process.
Yeah.
What 100%. We need to do then, if he wants to go, and if it's true, put a buyback on him.
Yeah. So I said before, Martin, because we seem to be agreeing with a lot of stuff here. What I said before is, obviously, one thing that you could potentially do is loan him out, right? Now, obviously, you've only got certain loan positions. You loan him out, yeah, see how he gets on. Bernardo leaves next year. Is there actually then, can we have this conversation next year and go, you know what, there's actually a spot for him in this team he can actually play, right? Maybe they won't. If we do decide to sell him, I want a good fee. He's got 3 years left on his contract. For me, £30 million, absolute minimum. I don't think, in my opinion, he's worth as much as Palmer was when we sold him. But if this club doesn't put a buyback clause in the contract, then that is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. I actually think now, Martin, yeah, any youngster we sell, there should be
a buyback. Yeah, and
every single player.
I'm hoping, by the way, we do use them on a Trafford or someone else because, you know, listen, I do think some of the older players will leave. I do think Gundo will go. I'm not sure about Cover. That may be later on.
Well, just quickly on the Gundogan thing. Have you seen his agent coming out today? Said he's not going anywhere. Said he don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm being very careful on agents at the minute because Ederson said he wasn't going anywhere, and now Galatasaray have shown up, and now it's don't ever believe what players are saying in the media.
Yeah, I said that before.
It's a media thing.
I said that before, funny enough.
It's a media thing. This is a thing. This is why I think as a fan base we need to relax because we're believing the small bits. Because if you remember, I've just said this on Sam's actually. I was laughing at the United fan. Omar Barada, when he was here, we knew everything. We knew what they had for breakfast, what they had for dinner. And if you remember, when Omar Barada left, we became a very silent club then. All the leaks stopped coming out. And I think because some of the leaks are drip fed and people are, and I never trust, it's like, you know, Pep Guardiola, it's like when you look at Twitter, and I've left Twitter, by the way, and I think it's going to be the best thing I've ever done. But if you look at Twitter and you see a quote from Pep Guardiola, you never see the question he was asked to get that quote. You just see the quote. So we all react as human beings on the quote, but you never see the question or what has led up to that question to make that response come. And that's where I think you need full context on things. This is why just 3 or 4 lines of a quote is a very dangerous thing to judge on. I want to see.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes, like you read a quote, you're like, "What the fuck did you say?"
It's like a thumbnail or a line or like we just said on YouTube, we only get 100 characters, don't we, on a title?
Yeah.
But that title may not be what the full show is about, and can look a bit either clickbaity or a bit, and it can turn people on or off. But it isn't the true extent of your show. It's only because you've only got 100 characters to play with.
Yeah, and when you're doing live streams, I've done live streams before where I've done a title on a stream, and I make a spoke about it. I've just because you enter on a video, it's different.
Yeah,
you do your video, then you title your video about what the title is. But when you do a stream, I'm sure you've done this before. Like sometimes I go into streams, don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I'll just be like, oh, I'm just going to go live. I just want to chat to the chat.
Yeah, then you can either change it or you can add stuff into it. And
so I'll do a stream. I'll title the stream. I'll put something in the stream. Sometimes I'll just call it City or whatever. Sometimes I'll tell, well, there's a bit of news about Gundogan. So yeah, I'll put Gundogan in the title. And then you get in the stream, you're talking to the chat, and no one wants to speak about Gundogan. People are saying, LB, Ederson, or LB, what do you think about this or that? And then you end up getting, you're not even talking about it because it's different because it's alive. But when you do
it's like YouTube, listen, you know me and you, I could put up a YouTube compilation of Ederson and make it look like he's the world's greatest goalie. You could put one up in 5 minutes and make him look like the worst keeper. And this is the thing. We try and look in the world and even football in a snapshot environment. But that's what it is. It's only a snapshot. So here's the thing with Nico O'Reilly. We don't know what fully's been said. We don't know what's in that guy's mind right now. He may have turned around to City and gone, I don't want to play left back no more. Stop putting me at left back. I don't want to be. I want to be an 8-10.
Especially if it's a backup left back as well.
Yes, I mean, you're not even making him the number one. Because you think about it.
You know what? I know you don't play left back, bro, but I'm going to make you my first choice left back. And he goes, I don't really want to
every position that he can play, well, you bought someone this summer who's going to be the number one in that spot.
Yeah.
That's not giving the kids the be all and end all trust. They're not like that's why I do give Foden credit, LB. Foden sat here for 4 years and went, you know what, I'll fight it out.
Yeah. No, I agree. But not everyone's going to take the Foden route. And not everybody has to take the Foden route. Because the thing is, Martin, I said this before.
Career's a short career.
Bro, Nico O'Reilly's career is over in 13 years.
Spot on.
13 years. It's not even started and his career's over. Imagine seeing him in the street like, your career's finished in 13 years, you know. So you better now play as much as you possibly can play in that, win as much as you can, and as much money as you possibly can, and guarantee your future. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not even a cushion off of Victor Hayes. You know, in a year, right? Obviously, we want cushion off Victor Hayes to play a lot of football this season. But you know, in a year's time, Stones is going to go, Ake is going to go soon. You know, there's room. If we go and buy next summer, say we go and buy a Matt Gay, as an example, by the way, or a Branthwaite for 80 million, well, then Kushinoff's going to ask the question. Well, I thought that was my spot when Stones goes. You just spent 80 million on a new guy. This is my point. Are we going to keep spending, or are we going to give people the opportunity? Which one is it?
Well, it's fine when you buy world-class players.
And that's the problem. We bought too many squad rotational. Because I'll tell you what's happening in football that no one realises. Do you remember all these players? And all right, I'll give you an example. Kushnoff and Victor Hayes would 2 years ago would probably end up at a Tottenham or a Brighton for 20 million quid. And City would go, we'll watch you for 3 or 4 years. And then 4 years later, City have to pay 90 million quid to Brighton to get Kushnoff out. Have you not noticed what a lot of people are doing now? They're cutting the middleman out.
Yeah, because it's too expensive to buy the
World Cup. They're cutting that middleman out. They're saying, no, forget going to Brighton. We'll take the gamble and buy you now at 20 million.
Yeah, I explained this before, right? Because when we first got bought, you could buy a world-class player or a very, very good player for 20 to 30 million. So in theory, you could buy a world-class team that could, in theory, win the Champions League for 300 million. Yeah, and I went through the team that we had. We bought Lescott, 25 million, Company 7, Zabba 7, Clichy 7, De Jong 16, Barry 20 odd, and I went through that whole team that we had under Mancini. Yeah, Balotelli, all those sort of players. We didn't spend over 32 million quid for any of those players off the top of my head. Yeah. Whereas now, how much would a Sergio Aguero cost now in today's market? Imagine Sergio Aguero was at Atletico Madrid now. How much would he cost? We bought him for 30 odd million.
130, 140.
Exactly. So the way that you can build squads now is not. And by the way, there's not that many players like Aguero about nowadays. And I say this is the reason we got
talent
Aguero.
in football's shrinking.
Exactly. So that's also causing shit. So now, so you've got a situation where players have gone mad expensive. So it's pretty much impossible to do what City did and go out and buy a load of mint players for every position, because what would have cost you 300 million quid 15 years ago now costs you 1.5 billion quid. Yeah. So fucking 5x. Right. But at the same time, the players are not. Look at the right back. We're out here as City fans saying we need a right back, and it's Livermore or bust. Because there's nobody there. There's literally no other right back. And if you are, you're talking about Jed Spence's or fucking Munoz. We was talking about getting Olaina for him for a couple of years. Like, there's no one there. Everyone's like, we need a right back. And people are like, don't want Tino Livramento. Give me a name. There's no one fucking there. There's no right back. And don't say fucking Hakimi, because we're not going to get Hakimi out of PSG.
No, because you can't get any more foreign players in, because you've got...
I mean, that's another problem you've got, is the foreign spots.
Now? Hey, we were talking the other day. I'll let you go in a minute. We're talking the other day. We've got 31 players at the minute. Once you've got rid of your Gundos, your Kovacic's, etc., you've got it down to 26, 25. You are still leaving 5 players at home week in, week out. Because you can only take 20 to a match day squad.
Sorry, did you say that includes McAtee and Grealish?
Yeah, we got rid of all them.
Wow.
We got down to 25, 26. You are still leaving 5 players at home every Premier League. Obviously, there'll be injuries in that, but that's where the Nico O'Reillys and others come in. They don't want to be left at home. This is what Pep said. I don't want to leave them at home. You can take 11 players and 9 subs. So we go down to 25. 5 are still at home, twiddling thumbs. We worked out the other day. I'm going to do it tomorrow. We got the whole squad up, and we got rid of McAtee, Grealish, wasn't including Peroni, I wasn't including Wilson Esbrand. All them had gone. And we were still at 25, 26.
It's mad, isn't it?
This is how big a squad we've ended up with, because what we've done is, and I've said this to you 1,000 times before, we sold too many ready-made first-team players and brought too many squad players in. And we didn't keep an eye on the homegrown. We've let that go to shit. And do you know what I've realised? This rebuild is going to take more than one summer. This rebuild is going to take probably 2 years. This year and next year.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if we get a right back and a goalkeeper this summer, that's the rebuild finished.
I'm not sure. See, I think you may get a goaler. I don't think you'll get a right back. That's what worries me. I don't think we're going to get a right back.
I think if you get a right back and a goalkeeper, that's the rebuild done. Then it's just like one in, one out.
The guy I want, we can't fit in. I want Vanderson. Can't fit him in.
I've never seen the guy.
Can't fit Vanderson.
I see a couple of people in the chat have mentioned this Vanderson geezer. But now, if you get a right back and get a goalkeeper, what else in the rebuild do you need to do? That's it. You've got everything. Then it's just a case of, well, Doku or Savio shit this season, so you get rid of him. And well, that's not a rebuild. That's just natural.
It depends, because 2026, you're going to lose Bernardo, you're going to lose Johnny Stones, you're going to lose potentially 2 goalies, Ederson and Ortega.
But I'm saying the goalkeepers are already done. I think if Bernardo goes next year, again, you just replace him. I don't think that's like a rebuild. John Stones that's fucking playing.
I mean, just as a, don't mean a big, I'm talking about from start to the finish, it may take this summer, next summer. I mean,
I just think they're like the cherry on. Yeah, I just think they're like cherry on the cakes. I think fundamentally, if you was to get me a goalkeeper and a right back, I would consider that rebuild completed.
Mate, I would love a right back. I'd love Anderson. And you know what? I've come round to the James Trafford thing. I really have come round to that.
I haven't, just simply because I've not seen him this year.
I think to get Trafford in at 30 million quid and a buyback is better than spending 70 million.
But have you seen the season for Burnley?
I think the goalkeeping market's crap right now, if you want me to be honest.
No, because apparently he's played well for Burnley this year, but I've not seen him once for Burnley because I've not watched Burnley this season.
He's been okay.
But he was shit for Burnley in the Premier League. He was awful. He got dropped from Norwich, was that bad. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not saying don't sign him. I've said this before. I don't have a fucking clue what's goalkeepers.
I'm just thinking homegrown. I'm thinking homegrown as well. And the other side of the coin is the guy I properly want is Chevalier, and we ain't going to get him. I think he's going to end up at PSG. That would be the number one guy for me. Him and Vanderson. If you can get Vanderson out of Monaco, he's young. He's 35 million quid apparently. He would be, that guy would be amazing. But the trouble is, we've got 21 non-homegrown, and we can't afford to bring any more non-homegrown in.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think the thing with Trafford is
planning. Viana's ended up with an absolute mess on his hands.
I know. That's why I felt a bit sorry for Viana. I've said this bare time. I felt a bit sorry for Viana going into this window because I just felt that he's been stitched up a little bit. I'll be real. But the thing is with Trafford, if he is good enough, and he is good, it's a bit of a cheat code because having an English goalkeeper for the homegrown thing, plus your third choice goalkeeper's homegrown as well. 2 of your 3 goalkeepers are homegrown. It's a little bit of a cheat code, man.
Of course it is.
There's no point in having him as a goalkeeper if he's shit. It's got to be good.
Why not bring in Spike Brits then as your other one? Why is that third keeper always got to be an old head?
I don't think it's just. I think it's for dressing room vibes.
Do you think it's like helping in training, things like that?
Yeah, I think it's, if you listen to a lot of like the leaks and rumors that have come out about Scott Carson, it's apparently in the dressing room he was mega.
Oh like, yeah, but I was going to tell you about that. He was the life and soul of the party and was amazing. Now, have you read that? Apparently, he wants to carry on playing. He looks like he wants to drop down the lower divisions.
Carry on playing. He never played for us.
No, well, that's what I mean. He wants to reignite a Championship or League One club, and you know what? If he deserves that, big up on him. Listen, I'm going to say again, I think we'll challenge for the league, whether or not we're good enough right now. I think Liverpool are favourites. Just said that to Sam. I think Liverpool are favourites, and if they get ease out, then they are favourites.
I think they're favourites anyway.
No. But do I think we can challenge 100%?
Yeah, that's my position. I think right now, I think Liverpool win it, but I'd be disappointed if we're not at least in a title race.
Listen, I think we'll be in and if we're not in a title race, then yes, that'll be disappointed.
Do you think Pep should take the Carabao Cup seriously this year? Because I do.
You know my view on this. I'll take every single cup seriously. Listen, I've missed my days out in Wembley in February.
I think, when
I was on the former channel, Man City Man TV, we had some amazing days in the League Cup final down there. We had some cracking days down there, and it was like a full weekend event, and we just enjoyed it. And you know what? This is going to sound really sad. Excuse me for this. I've been to an FA Cup final. I've been to Carabao Cup finals. I've been to all these finals. The Carabao Cup final is the most fun because it's less commercialized. It feels like it feels like a proper final. You get the most fans in there. So all the tickets generally go to the fans. And it's just a proper day.
I think for me, right, I think that I've not ever had a problem with Pep not taking the Carabao Cup seriously in the last like 4 or 5 years or whatever, because it's clear that we had a squad that was trying to win the Champions League and win the Premier League. And maybe not having the Carabao Cup to deal with helped us do that. And it did, because obviously we went and won multiple Premier Leagues, 4 in a row. We did the treble and that. So I never had a problem with it. I always just accept it. I remember when we got beat off Newcastle, I actually went to the game. I said on the stream when I was going, I said, we'll lose this game. I'm just going for the vibes. I'm going for the drinks. I'm going for a pie. I know we're going to lose. And we lost 1-0. But I think we have to humble ourselves a little bit and accept that, for the first time in a long time, we're going into this season and a lot of people don't have us favourites. And I think when you're not favourites for the Premier League and not favourites for the Champions League, and to be honest, I'd be amazed if we won the Champions League.
I think that's
at
the
that,
problem, mate.
you have to start taking the domestic cups a little bit more seriously. Including
some don't want to humble themselves. And that you just said the one good thing Liverpool were good at, when Liverpool were not good enough to win a league, they made sure they still went away with silverware. They won even a Champions League. They won things.
That's what I'd do. Right?
So you have a go at all these. I'm not saying we do, but I think what we've got to realise is that for the first time, and for some, and this is not lowering your standards or accepting mediocrity, it's not that. City will come back. City are not United. We are not Arsenal. We will be back. We just might have to accept a little bit of lessness for a year or two. And then we'll be back. Then we will be back. And when we come back, and listen, it may even be this season. Keep saying it. And people will not like this, but I'm telling you now, with our board, and if I had to pick a manager right now, it was hurt and he's back against the wall and wanted to give a finger up to everyone else and say, tell you what, I'm going to prove all you lot wrong, including my own fan base. It's Pep Guardiola. I want to see a Pep having vibes at the Oasis concert. I want him having a laugh. I want him jumping out in August going, right then, let's go.
Yeah,
I want him doing that.
He's been questioned by our own fan base as well.
Of course he has. And you know what? He has made errors. But I think some of the criticism's gone a bit too far. That's people's opinions. That's fine. I'm not going to tell people how they should think. But the simple fact is, I am looking at a rejuvenized Pep Guardiola, because a lot of us have talked about the negatives from the Club World Cup. The one thing I will say, from an attacking standpoint, I thought we looked very good in the Club World Cup.
Yeah, we were. Apart from the Al Hilal game in the second half.
No, but even in that, we have 33 chances. If Jeremy Doku could score from a yard out, and Erling Haaland and their goalie didn't decide to become Superman for the night, we should have been 5 up at half time and out of sight.
Yeah, there were definitely positives from that. And I actually went through
it yesterday. And I watched Kolo Touré, I watched Pep Linders, I watched Pep Guardiola bring a togetherness. The news I got coming back from that Club World Cup was that squad were more happy and more determined and more together than they've ever been. Yeah, and it doesn't matter how much money you spend or how many superstars you've got, nothing beats a camaraderie that wants to win.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's just me anyway, and it is what it is. But like I say, we'll just enjoy it.
Unless we win 1 win in 13 again.
And then you call it a crisis.
I'll call it a crisis. I'll be early on the train and everyone will be like, oh my God, LB, how did the fuck do you know that happened?
Is that why you've gone for the bald head to do your Dr. Evil? 1 win in 13 with the white cat going, crisis. Crisis.
It's happened again, my friends. Pep is not playing fucking good players in midfield. He's playing Gundogan and Kovacic every game. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Chat, if he ends up buying a cat, get worried.
Yeah, come on. All right, let me finish off with these chats and then I'm going to go to bed. Big up Jarvis says, Martin, Bob is homegrown now. Right, he's homegrown.
Yeah, he's homegrown, Jarvis. Yeah.
I think he's homegrown.
Nico O'Reilly isn't homegrown in the Premier League. He's homegrown in the Champions League. That's correct. The difference. He's not homegrown in the Premier League.
Yeah. Big up Massam says, give the good players opportunities. Simple. It is very simple, isn't it? Very simple indeed. And big up Perfect. I remember as well, right? Just again, as to why people keep on saying, LB, why are you so convinced Pep won't play Gundogan and Kovacic every game in the Premier League? It's because when Pep did that interview a couple of weeks ago, the guy said to him, the first question is, Pep, how are we going to make sure that season doesn't happen again this year? And the first thing he said was, give me good football players. That, for me, the way I took that is he's basically saying he doesn't have good football players. He needs better football players. And then what did the club go and do?
And Tijani Reinders played nearly every game. So
he went out and bought Reinders, Cherky and Aït-Nouri. So
by the way, that ain't happening. Because again, you're talking Wharton is 100 million quid to be a Rodri backup. That is the one thing he won't do that. That's
I think they'll get Wharton next year.
I'd love Wharton.
I think they'll get him next year.
Well, you're not allowed Wharton. You flip-flopped on Wharton.
Martin, we need... No, I did. No, it wasn't really a flip-flop. It was more just evidence-based. But I think they're going to get Wharton because, again, you have to address the fact that we need homegrown players. And I just think they'll look at Wharton and go, yeah, you're the
You
real
don't need
deal.
to talk to me about homegrown. I don't want to say I told you so, but I kind of told you so 2 years ago. You all laughed at me.
Big up Toll, who says, I'd sell Gundogan and Kovacic by Wharton. Rodri help, homegrown. I don't think they'll sign him now. I think they'll sign him next year. I think they'll let him have how many years he got?
I think we're gonna have a window where it'll just be pure homegrown window.
Right, it's contracted until 2029. So yeah, you get to next year, he's got 3 years left on the contract.
If Tottenham don't move, we keep an eye on Tottenham there after him, no LB.
Yeah. Do you think if City would have known about that £60 million release clause, they would have got Gibbs White?
Yeah, I just don't think no one knew it because I don't think anyone was meant to know about it. I've never known a world where you can keep a release clause hidden. I've never known that ever in world football.
It's weird, isn't it?
I
think it's probably like
a club doesn't have to actually accept legally a release clause. It was on Talk Sport today with Stefan Bodson and Simon Jordan, and it came out. They said you don't have to actually accept the release clause.
What's the fucking point in the release clause then?
This is what I think Jim White was saying. He went, I didn't even know that was real. And then they were coming back to the Arsenal one with Suarez, the 40 million a pound.
Oh yeah.
It depends what kind of a release clause it is, because where Forest are saying is that agent has told Tottenham about this release clause.
Yeah, and that's why they pulled it. That's why
Forest. Now they're saying they've tapped him up.
Yeah, correct. Because before you approach the player, so obviously before you approach the player, you're meant to go to the club and ask the club if you can talk to the player. But
even though it happens all the time.
Yeah, obviously everybody knows that in practice that doesn't happen. Clubs clubs don't do that because clubs would want to negotiate a fee. You negotiate the fee, then the club goes to the player and say, "Oh, we've agreed a fee to buy you," and they go, "I don't want to join you," and then you just waste all that time. So what actually happens is the club goes to the player or the agent and says, "Are you interested?" They'll go, "Yeah." This is the wage. Like maybe they don't fully agree the wages, but they'll say it's in the region of this. Once we agree the fee with them, we'll finalize the wages, but it's in the region of 200k. They go, yeah, that's fine. A couple bonuses, yeah, we'll agree the rest. Then they go to the club and say, oh, we want to buy this player, like what you're saying, and they say, oh yeah, well, we're open to do the deal. You can speak to the player. Then they agree the fee. Then they go back to the player and say, oh yeah,
that's why I don't believe the Rice stuff. That's why I believed that already spoke with Rice before that bid went in.
Yeah, I think they did speak with Rice, but I think
that's why I think something went wrong on that Rice.
No, I think what happened with Rice. I think what happened with Rice was I think City went to Rice's camp and said, "Is he open? Is he open to joining City?" And they said, "Yeah." City put the £90 million bid in. They got rejected, and obviously Arsenal's bid got rejected as well. And I think City went to Rice's camp again and said, "Right, we spoke to West Ham. We're going to accept their deal. We're going to do the 105. Is he going to agree?" And then I think what happened was I think Rice and his camp said, "If Arsenal pay the money, we're going to go Arsenal." So City went, "Nah, see you later."
Yeah,
I do not think, bro, that City just pulled out the Rice deal because it would have gone from 90 to 105. I just do not believe that for 1 sec. I think they
don't pull out over 50 million quid.
Not for someone like Rice. I think City got told by Rice that he'll join us, but if Arsenal matched the bid, he wanted to go Arsenal, and City were not prepared to be like humiliated and be rejected by the player. So they just said, "Sack that, see you later."
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to say this, LB, and I've said this. This is my honest opinion. There are some clubs in the Premier League that will not really want to do business with Manchester City Football Club.
Mm.
And that's why we get messed around. We get different prices. Listen, I've never known a player have a release clause that is so secretive.
Mm. Yeah, no.
Jack Gorn, what I was told, what others were told, Jack Gorn, even you probably heard it. It was 85 million quid minimum to get to the table.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they got it for 60 million appeared out of someone's ass.
I think what will probably happen for me is if a player has a release clause of, say, 60 million, because obviously the reason why Forest have done this is because Tottenham have obviously sent them an email and said, we are going to activate the clause of £60 million. And then Forest have gone, how the fuck did you know that? We've not told you. That means they've told you. That means they breached the contract. That means, bang, he's not going anywhere. So I think what will probably happen is the agent now will probably start telling the buying club, will say, he's got a £60 million release clause, but don't bid 60 million, bid 62 million and don't say it's a release clause. So then what happens is Spurs go to Forest and say, oh, we're going to bid 62 million quid. And then Forest go, oh, yeah, we have to accept that.
Well, that's what they said. They said they went 2 on the money with it. They went bang they went at the release clause.
They went 2 on the thing.
Yeah.
So that meant
either go 2 or 3 million lower or 2 or 3 million up and make it. And
just
also,
go up so it activates the clause.
It was done too quick. It went from interest to 10 minutes later, medical booked and done, and everyone went, what?
Yeah.
How was that even got out?
Yeah, you should just find out what the clause is, but then just bid a couple million over the clause, and in the email when you're putting your bid in, just don't say you're activating a clause. Just say, "Oh yeah,
I do believe that." I think we do business right. I think we've done a lot of business with Wolves, business with Villa. I think there are certain clubs that City will not do business with, or they won't do business with us. We don't really touch Arsenal, United, Liverpool.
Because we raided them when we first got bought, innit?
That's what I mean, but we've not done anything since, was it Jesus and Zinchenko? Then they had a falling out. Now United was Tevez, the last one.
Yeah, they're rare though.
Liverpool was Sterling. We've just stopped. This 115 has really upset the apple cart.
Yeah, and that's cool and that. However, they're also English clubs, and English clubs mainly have the homegrown players, and we need the homegrown players.
That's why we're having to go to Burnley to deal with Deal.
That's why we got to try and James Trafford boys.
Yeah, because we're not liked by all the other clubs in the world.
Get out. It's crazy. All right, we'll leave it there. I'm going to go to bed, man. Yeah, big up Second City set again. Said, LB, would you take Luis Enrique as coach and Pep's contract run out in 2020? Bro, 100%. I'd take Luis Enrique. I've been saying it for me now. He's my top target after Pep. 100%.
You want someone who slaps players around?
Fucking yeah.
What happens to Company?
He's on my list, but he's not above this guy.
Company gets slaughtered by some of this fan base at the minute.
Oh, no,
Imagine Company went the wrong way.
I'd be having fucking clashes. Second City Saint would probably be on him. He wants Pep out, so I'd probably be like fucking beefing with Second City Saint.
People be putting graffiti all over the statue.
Yeah, but I've also said about Company, I'm only getting him if he's like doing well at buying. But yeah, for me,
Enrique. I think it depends. Listen, I think it depends which direction we're going. Yeah, it's weird. 2 years is a long time in football.
Yeah, no, it is. Absolutely.
That's the problem. Yeah, I don't know where anyone will be in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. Yeah. Right now, Luis Enrique is top of my list. In 2 years' time, or in a year's time, it might be completely different.
Company wins the Champions League in the next 2 years, and I'm like, right.
He ain't going to win the Champions League because I'm telling you, the signings that they're making are buying a fucking... They're trying to sign Luis Diaz. They need a fucking defenders.
See how much they want, though? 90 million quid.
They get 90 million quid for Luis Diaz. And I don't know what's going on at Liverpool, mate, but they need to be investigated.
Do you know our interest in him was actually very true? We were very interested in him.
I would have been.
Do you know, we were actually.
He would have been my fucking Havertz. I do not rate him at all. I think he's such an average footballer. So when we got linked with him, I remember doing a stream saying, why the fuck are we signing him? Thank God that got shut down in 15 minutes. You know, some players you just don't rate as a football fan. Like one of mine, obviously, a big one that I had was Conor Gallagher. I think Conor Gallagher is just such a terrible player. I can't believe he's playing at Atletico Madrid. I don't get it, even though he's actually doing all right now. I kind of like chill on it a little bit. Like Luis Diaz for me, I just don't see it. And you'll have a player that everyone rates, and you just look at him and you go, he's just shit. And everyone in the chat will have their own players that they just do not rate. And I just look at Luis Diaz and watch him play. I'm like, I just don't think he's very good. I think he's just a flick merchant and a stop and start merchant. Just don't rate him. And when we got linked with him last year, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, I can't believe he's going Bayern. Like, why are they not trying to get Rodrigo? Just go and get Rodrigo. Bayern Munich, man. You've just lost out of Wirtz. Humiliation for them. Yeah? Like, listen, I was a bit gutted we got him. It's not humiliating. Fucking hell. For them, it's humiliating. They're the biggest German club in the fucking Germany, mate, and you've missed out on the next German talent. They should go all out and get Rodrigo and have Rodrigo, Kane, obviously Musiala when he's back fit, and then Elise on the right. And then they need to sort the
That's a
defense out.
shout. Fabregas, don't know where Fabregas will be in a couple of years because he's on the up and coming list.
Has he gone in Milan?
No, he stayed at.
What happened with that? I thought he was going into Milan.
No, he was going to Milan, but they got Kivu. You know the old Romanian player they had. Kivu.
Oh yeah, they got Kivu. Yeah, the guy with the fucking mask.
Yeah, they got him. Kivu.
Kivu. Yeah, big up Kivu, man. Yeah,
former player there, Romanian player, international, actually decent player back in the day. Yeah, he stayed at Como. Perone has done his deal to Como, I believe. So Perone's gone.
Yeah, apparently we've got a 40% sell-on clause on that.
McAtee's having meetings in Germany as we speak. Then he's due one in Nottingham. He's busy. I think it's going to be between Dortmund and Frankfurt for.
Is yours Pedro?
Stop it, Paolo. Paolo, be a good boy. Stop mentioning Pedro.
So you don't have a agenda against Pedro?
No, actually, no. Spartacus Paolo loves Pedro. He just loves him.
He's fucking baller, to be fair, Pedro. What a player he is.
Well, he is, but he's not coming to City though, is he?
No. I didn't even realise he didn't even come through La Masia. You know, they bought him.
Yeah,
I didn't even. I thought he come through the academy.
Like was it 15 mil euro?
How much did they buy him for, chat? I did a watch along last year. Champions League.
Was Gavi through La Masia?
Gavi was through La Masia, yeah.
Las Palmas, thank you.
Oh no, people are saying Gavi was bought as well.
Oh, Gavi was buying both, right?
They bought them both, yeah. Right, that's mad. That is mad.
Jesus.
Wow, that is crazy.
Anyway, right, I'll let you go.
Yeah, sweet. All right, big up, lads.
Tomorrow, and then I'm going to Turkey, getting my teeth done.
Oh, yeah, actually getting your teeth done?
No.
Oh.
No.
Fair enough.
When you go away?
Next Wednesday, week today.
Going away, chat. It's going away.
Going getting my hair done in Turkey. Guys, make sure.
I have officially left Twitter for the foreseeable.
Congrats. I will join you one day. I've been saying it for like.
Can't do it anymore. Do you know what? I was in a space the other day and they were moaning about Romeo Lavia. I went, we're going back to Romeo Lavia to have a win. I'm out. I can't do Lavia.
I just can't be fucking arsed with it. I'm like, just can't be arsed with it. I'll stick on for a little bit longer. I'm hanging on. But
it's getting low. Everyone's like, nah, we're going.
The problem is on it, yeah. It's like I don't mind people having their different opinions, but you can't have a debate on Twitter because it's not a platform for debating. Like, it's just fucking arguments. And it's like if someone comes into my chat, yeah, and we have a bit of a debate, I can debate people in the chat, yeah, and like we have disagreements all the time. All the time, people come in here and say, "Oh, but you chat shit," like, and then they'll give me the reason. But like on Twitter, bro, if like I have an opinion and tweet my opinion, I'm either a plastic or I'm a main road wanker, and it's like, what?
Do you know what someone said to me? This is the best one. You're a main road wanker. You've no standards. And I went, but you do realise when I started supporting Manchester City, there was no standards.
Yeah, there was no
I didn't
standards,
start supporting City when we were winning. So my standards, I don't have any because I joined in like the 80s when we were crap.
Yeah, there's just no balance on it. There's no balance on it. There's no balance on the platform. You're either a plastic or you're a main road wanker. It's just unbelievable. The people was giving me shit. Go on.
It's your opinion, but your opinion's wrong. So shut the fuck up.
It's just mad,
so it's not an opinion, then, is it?
Bro, people was tweeting me, yeah, when we won one game in 13, people was tweeting me saying, "You're so negative." And I was just like, we've won one game in 13 matches. Not even Stuart Pearce had that record. I'm not allowed to have a little bit of a fucking moan.
Stuart Pearce did go 12 months and not score a goal at home.
I know he did, but we won more than one game in
No,
13
we didn't.
games.
No, we didn't, because we didn't even score. Never mind win games. We didn't score.
Away games.
Piss off. Don't
Stuart
give me away
Pearce.
games.
Stuart Pearce. Don't give him away games.
Do not
Away
give me
games
Bernardo
don't count.
Carrada. No,
Away games
don't give me.
count.
Don't dare go down Bernardo Carrada crap roll.
All I'm telling you is that Stuart Pearce never went one win in 13. That's all I'm telling you. It's a fact. You can't disagree with me. It's a fact. Oh yeah, it's crazy.
What's LB? Did Martin see your takedown on the chap saying Foden was a fraud today? What? He said Foden's a fraud. What's happened now?
Oh,
mate. What's happened now?
This guy, Vizzy. Yeah. He was the guy who called out Lee Gunner like last year for being negative, and now his whole channel's just full of negativity. And he's called Phil Foden. He's put in the thumbnail. Phil Foden's a fraud, ego, and boring.
Who's this?
He's a YouTuber. He used to be a FIFA YouTuber, and now he just does like YouTube videos on like football stuff.
Oh, I know Vizak. Him and what's it had a massive blow up. His dad, him and his dad and his son. What's he called? Massive YouTuber.
Oh yeah, Thogden and that.
Thogden. Him and Thogdad had a massive thing with him.
Yeah, they did.
And they went at it for ages.
Yeah, they did.
He's a Burnley fan, you know.
Yeah, I know he is. He's been buzzing about the Kyle Walker tweet. I watched his Twitter before. He's been buzzing about Kyle Walker signing it.
I watched it and he turned and he went, Phil Foden can't dribble, as he was showing Phil Foden dribbling clips.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
He's obviously like, I'm not trying to start anything, but he's obviously just trying to do this content.
Cole Palmer won the Club World Cup, and Alan texted me, Cole Palmer's better than Foden. I went, do you ever back any City player anymore, Alan? And he went, nah.
He's fallen into the fucking depths. He should be on it. He's doing the Twitter Spaces. I seen him do one the other day.
That's what I mean. Alan's fallen into the Twitter space verse. He's just gone to it. Anyway, I'll do a show tomorrow and then I'm off for 3 weeks and then we'll close down and then I've got new graphics, everything all set up, ready to go for next season. New season, new intro song, new intro song, new outro song, new graphics, new everything, new overlays.
Retro, man. Look at this.
Nah, new season, new graphics. City
my graphic
every year.
My new graphic is this. Like and subscribe.
Oh God.
That's as far as my.
He has a picture of the Etihad because it reminds him when he used to go.
I went this year to Plymouth.
Did you like my walk round, by the way? I did a walk round the other day.
I didn't actually watch it. I didn't watch it. I will watch it though.
Oh.
I'll see the updates. Man.
I've done an update, chat. I've got a walk round.
Did you see anyone?
No.
Saw
a couple of builders' arses sticking out as they were up the cherry pickers.
What the fuck?
The ground, because what I did find out is City have lost access to the pitch at the moment. The grounds were the head person was telling me they're giving the club the pitch back as of end of this month.
Who's giving it back? Who owns the pitch?
The building company own the Etihad and the pitch at the moment. While they're doing this rebuild, so they own it.
So they've told City they're not allowed to go on the pitch.
Yeah, like temporary site thing a bit, and then they will give it them back when they finish their bit and let them get on with what they have to do.
Fair enough, man.
Which I didn't know. Actually, I didn't know they had to give them the basically keys.
It probably is for a reason, and it probably needed the access to the space. Yeah,
because the pitch has been totally relaid out because the roof's gone as well.
Ursel says rather than changing graphics, LB changed his hair. Come on, man. What you want? A new fucking photo in the background, or you want me to fucking do some mad change?
I've got a feeling your missus shaved it off when you were asleep.
Nah, but she actually did the first one, and she does it all the time.
Do you know what? I'm having a number 2.
Shave it off.
No. I'll come back like it is 46 degrees in Turkey at the minute. I'll come
shave
back
it off. Shave it off.
Like a cherry.
Shave it off. Shave it off.
No.
I'm trying to start a fucking movement here. The bald movement. Yeah, we will be bald. Come on, lads. Hey, who's with me, chat? Yeah, who's with me? Shave it off, man.
I'm going
Breathe.
gym. I'm going gym in a minute. You know my
Breathe
gym
yourself.
thing at this time. I go
You
gym.
go in gym. It's fucking 1:30 in the morning, man.
Yeah.
Briggsy, you'll go bald, innit?
I'll send you a screenshot of my gym logins. They're all 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Come on. Everyone needs to shave it off, man.
Then? The other day, I did 15 bench presses at 4:30 in the morning.
Good. Still not bald.
What?
You're still not bald. You shave your hair off, bro.
I don't need to get bald to go to. What are you doing? I'm on just under 2 stone of weight loss. Man, on mission.
That's good, man. I keep it up, innit? Yo, shout out Rajiv. You'll go bald, innit, bro? Come on. There's certain people.
Oh, remind me tomorrow, Rajiv. I'll unblock you, mate. While I'm on here now, I'll unblock you.
Somebody's blocked him. Oh, the mods.
I don't know who's blocked him. I need to look at it. So how do I get into this? Hang on. How do I unblock here, LB? You might know.
You gotta go
community.
To YouTube.
Is it on community?
Yeah, I think so.
Customer what community? What?
Yeah, you gotta go to YouTube Studio. Yeah. And then go to settings. And then go to community moderation. Scroll down. It'll have a blocked. Oh, no, it's not got a block list on that one. It's somewhere in there. Oh, yeah, it's in there. Yeah, then it's go down to hidden users.
Right, I've got it now. Rajiv, I will get you unblocked. Hang on.
Game unblocked, man.
He's a member as well. Can't we block him in members up?
Right, that's mad. What is this mod trying to demonetize you or something? Got bills to pay, innit? What's going on here, chat? Right, anyway, I'm going to go to bed. So big up, man.
Yeah, you despair.
Yeah, smash it.
I'm on it. I'm on it, mate. If I can find you, I'm on it.
Briggs, I'm not here, bro. I'm not here, bro. I'm in Spain, innit? So, yeah. Sorry, bro. But enjoy your pints, innit? £7.80 pints, whatever the fucking cost. Probably cost a tenner now. Anyway, see you later. Smash the likes, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.